Oh yeah.
That actually ruined me.
Yeah, you can see, man. You just hear in the back door.
No, like I legitimately threw up.
Oh, jeez.
Just a bit.
Just. Oh.
Have you
Hey,
witnessed
Papa.
any of this, Galen? Have you heard
Huh?
Have you heard any of Papu's antics?
No, not really, man.
He gets a bit accustomed sometimes.
Did he just yell?
Yeah,
No,
mostly
he's
just
muting his
yelling.
mic. Joshy, why are you still gaming?
Alright, so here we are.
Oh god, that actually hurts so much.
Kalen's limped into the
I'm
podcast
fucking
here.
in agony right now.
Just before we went live, Galen.
We're live?
Yeah, we are
He's
now.
slurping his water bottle.
What'd you
I don't
say
know what to
before
tell you,
you
man.
took
It feels
a
like my
slurp?
ribcage has been split.
What did he say? He's like, something about gaming.
It's always something about gaming. Alright, let me just hit the tweet real quick.
Oh fuck, nice hair, man.
Who, Josh?
No, I already talked about the helmet hair.
Come on, man.
Oh, you mean this guy right here?
Yeah.
It's been a weird couple of days.
Just getting a bit loopy.
Oh yeah, last night got a little bit loopy.
What were you doing?
Yeah, last night the medium guys were apparently coming in, but you know they're extra medium.
I was just hitting whiskey and just like playing low stakes poker with the ball. What were we playing first?
Melee, and then we played CS.
Troy, have you been-
Stakes poker.
Yeah, no. CS
Every time I
was-
like tune into something you're doing, it's like, oh, I'm just taking the little guy. I'm just like the fifth little guy in 10 minutes, and it's just every single day.
Yeah, no, I'm cutting it back, man. I'm cutting it way back.
Yeah. I
Fucking-
can't say
I thought-
that morning after, man. It's just like, yeah, it's been real tight knit with it. You know, it's only medium guys nowadays.
Just
I thought I was bad going through a 30 block in like a week and a bit.
Yeah, I definitely killed a
Fucking-
bottle in like 3 nights.
Yeah, it's fucking grim.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so without further ado, welcome to my new podcast, Stickheads. We're gonna be talking about the greatest game ever made, Super Smash Bros. Melee,
Amen.
and how we're all unable to play it right now, except for some interesting connections. So I guess to kick it off, if you guys could just introduce yourself for all the people who might not know both of you. Maybe Josh goes first.
All right, so I'm Sora. At Little Trickshot. Hit me with a follow, please.
Please.
I waste my time playing a children's
He
fighting
needs
game.
those follows, man.
I really need them, man. Please. I need this.
His grandpa will stop yelling at him from downstairs if he gets
Yeah,
enough.
you'll probably get the guest appearance later, guys, but you're in for a treat. That's all I'm gonna say.
What are the odds he actually doesn't stop yelling?
Very high. Like, no, the thing is, if you give him like an inkling, or you give him anything, he just like sniffs it out and he'll just yell louder than ever before.
Yeah.
Very pog.
I'm Kalen. I'm one of the local TOs in Australia, mostly around Victoria. Pretty much started playing Melee because Miles a bunch of years back, and yeah, we just hit the sticks.
Yeah, I miss those sessions, man. We used to just get together and just play some goddamn.
Stop talking about it, man. It'll hurt.
Oh, it hurt. Yeah, nobody
Miss it
plays
so
right now
much.
except for tuning in to get bodied by Josh's Donkey Kong.
Sorry.
Oh,
Shock.
speaking of which, that's coming up this Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The Kong makes a triumphant return.
So I
man.
guess, yeah, that's been pretty topical right now. Netplay tournaments are all the rage. We've had a few good ones here. How do you feel about
they've
Netplay tournaments, both of you, from a player and a TO perspective?
Josh, you can go first.
Thanks, man. Well, as a player, we're in Australia, man. There goes that. It's pretty dog shit. Like our connection, I'm on Yaya watching. Like anytime Yaya downstairs, like live streams a video call with anyone, it's over. I'm not hitting any sticks, man. I'm on that 30 FPS.
Oh, Kalen, once the video calls start up and me and Josh are on the
Yeah.
session, we just call it for the evening.
Yeah.
Oh, I've
it's,
played Joshy with that, and I saw him play people multiple tournaments with that ping, and he's just like, "It's fine, man. I'm just tippering you for free. It's fine, man." What do you mean it's on your end?
They were lagging, man. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Do they have any proof? They didn't ask for a ping test. They didn't ask for a DQ, man. You know, I'm just saying, man. I know my rights.
Josh will
I'll do
play
anything.
through a hot 200 ping and still hit the 0 to death, and it's just like, fucking
Yeah.
hell, man.
Yeah.
There's nothing more frustrating than lagging and being like, surely he drops it now.
Yeah, we'll be watching a flip book of the Punish game. It's just like,
It's because
oh,
the boy was just bred in net play. Like he lives for the lag. Yeah, he acts like he hates it, but he's been able to just like
I do hate it,
up
man.
airing kids perfectly, just like yes,
no,
yes.
it's bad, man. It's bad for all parties involved, and I just really wish there was anything I could do, man. Actually, getting NBA on the 8th, which is quite custom, which would be very good.
Hmm.
No more lagging, which is pretty sad. Hopefully, win the Saturday tournament with DK again.
And how's TO in them, Kalen?
It's a fucking waking nightmare. So normally, like at a Ranbat or like a regular tournament or something like that, like if someone has a question, you can answer it. If like you can't find something, you just yell from or something like that. But like we're using Discord, we have the rules pinned, we have like kind of like process like laid out, and like shows a couple of bumps in the road initially, but like we kind of worked it all out. And it's like, all right, guys, all you have to do is the simple steps, like report your matches in this tab, and just like listen in this tab. It's easy, and then people still manage to ruthlessly fuck that up no matter what, and the amount of relentless DQs is insane. Like so many people like take the time and effort to sign up and then just not do anything with it. And they'll message me like 2 hours into a tournament, like, "Hey man, seeing as how it's a netplay tournament, can I get in?" It's just one of those things where you just want to like put your head through the drywall.
Yeah,
like it's just wrangling kids, but there's no leash.
That
Dude,
situation.
Some of the things I've seen.
That situation I had where Dredd messaged me to play. So I get messaged to play my match. I message this guy. So it's a known player from our region. He's smurfing and he's on an alt. He's also on an alternate Smash GG account. So there's 4 names to take into account trying to find this kid. There's his actual tag, his Smurf tag, his different Smash GG name from his Discord name, and he's playing a different character. So he's just like, good luck finding me. I'm behind 6 VPNs.
We thought we would get around that, but like, all right, so what you have to do is link your Discord to your Smash GG. So like, otherwise you can just like add people in Discord to like follow them off for matches and stuff like that. But this kid went out of his way to proactively like Turbo Smurf just so he could play Miles with his garbage ult.
No, the thing is though, is like I asked him about it. I'm like, what are you smurfing for, man? He's like, I'm actually just playing Peach. But with the Smurf, so I didn't want to fuck the seeding.
He's like, don't want to have my reputation on the line.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to ruin the seeding at all. I don't want anything like that to happen. He's like, but then I played Puff against Miles anyway. It's like, he's like, I couldn't waste that opportunity, man.
It's
so
just too good of experience, man.
And then I think I've played the wrong person. So like Tio's yelling at me in the chat. I'm typing back to my street. It's just like there's chats going every which way.
Just every dog is barking at the park.
What the fuck is going on? Yeah.
Yeah, it was absolute nonsense.
So imagine that happening about 6 times concurrently.
Yeah.
It's a pretty run-of-the-mill tournament. The upside is we do have like a pretty good team. We have like 6-7 people kind of staying on top of it all the time. And DreadTech's really good at just online wrangling somehow. So shout outs.
Yeah, it looks really rough. The seeing like one of like some dog shit stupid players be like, oh fuck, I gotta play, man. It's just like hopefully someone adds me soon. Then you add them, they're just like, yeah, I'll play in about 10 minutes. And then they come back, they're just like, oh. And then they win the game. Don't message anyone. No one says anything. It's just like, oh, yeah, I beat that guy half an hour ago, man. It's just like,
one of the worst things is we have the reporting tab, not the reporting tab. And someone gets like, all right, they report in the reporting tab. And then in the next match, they like report in the general tab. It's like, how do you fuck that up? Like, you did the right thing once. Like, how do you double back over
games here? And it's just like, general.
Yeah, it's
so dumb.
It can't be taken seriously, that's for sure. And Josh, you won with DK in the end. You won out. Was it a national tournament?
Yeah, it's definitely a national. Like, I mean, kids from all over the country are competing, so for better or worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's all net play anyway. So
on the note of smurfing in net play tournaments, with all this shit with Plup and all those Florida guys smurfing, what do you guys think about that? Like, how big of a problem was that actually?
I feel like it was kind of a bit of. I mean, like, realistically, they probably just wouldn't have thought of any implications. I mean, they're gamers at the end of the day. They don't really have, like, much social awareness. So it's like, oh, someone went out, like, put in time and effort for this thing. Like, I'm gonna have fun with it, which is fine. But the relentless BM and then kind of I didn't realize there was, like, the financials involved as well, which kind of, like, fucks with everything as well. On a level of disrespect, like, they could have just said, like, legit, might be, but people making a big deal out of it's kind of... People just love drama, man. Everyone's locked inside. People want to, like... They want to see blood. At the end of the day, like...
Yeah.
It does take a certain kind of, like, gamer to, like, not give a fuck. Like, Plop's apology was pretty forced, but at the same time, like, he kind of did his due diligence.
Yeah, his first response where he's like, haha, cancel me, guys. I was like, fuck, that is just the worst response. Like, feeding into, like, you're either fine or you're cancelled. Like, even if you're only doing that as a joke, it's like, oh, like, it's not funny, and it's not
You need to have some sort of like turbo ego to play melee hit that level. Like we all realize, like
I mean, Forrest just Alt F40'd his Twitter. Like, he didn't even say sorry. He just scrapped his Twitter.
hit the
Did he delete
escape
it?
hatch.
Yeah, he deleted his Twitter.
because I saw Phil called him out, and then it's just gone.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
fucked. He just like closes it. He's just like, I could just apologize here and not make it sound forced.
It's not that
Or-
big of a deal. It's
yeah,
like
it's not a crazy big deal. The thing is, though, that I think is crazy is like they entered as a Fortnite Fred 20 something.
I like that.
Very funny.
Well, funny. This is a region lock tournament, which is dog shit to do. So it's not just smurfing. Like, he's literally made it so only this region can
were they
play.
VPNing? They must have been doing something to get their account to show up, or like get their.
They
pin to
probably
show
just
up or
linked the account where you have
Yeah.
to have your region and stuff like stated and all that
yeah,
kind of stuff
yeah.
because they use like
Yeah.
a mate's alternative account.
Like,
True.
smurfing for the sake of smurfing is like, haha, yeah, it's funny, but like this guy's like
Oh,
tried to
shit.
hype it up with like bounties. Like, he's trying to, like, he put bounties on the top 100 players, and there's a prize pot as
Yeah,
well. And he's
just-
like, this is just for the region. And then these people are like, let's just smurf, man. And then
Doing
like,
that to
so they
homemade
did-
waffles, like
yeah, it's pretty dog. And it's just like, you're just getting taunted on by some random on net player. You're like, I don't know who in the region this could be, but this feels pretty shit. It's like, I'm
Yeah.
just playing shit.
I guess it comes down to like how much appreciation like people actually have for the net play tournaments and all that kind of stuff. Because at the end of the day, nobody's really taking it that seriously. I mean, some people are. I mean, like I know Zane's out here like just trying and proactive, like, yeah, guys, it's fucking garbage, but I'm still gonna clap you all, and you can't do anything about it. It's like I'm gonna use this as good practice.
I still
Yeah.
respect trying, even in like bad circumstances.
Oh,
But
no doubt. I mean, you gotta make do, right?
I think once you
Yeah.
start getting financials involved with a net play tournament, that in
fully
itself is
agree.
like potentially not the right call.
I guess the way you can look at it is like people are willing to put money into it, like for the pot and stuff like that, like are willing to compete and they understand what they're getting into. Like I get that side, but at the same time, like, nah. Like for this roundabout, I'm just gonna draw like a picture of the top 3 on like paint or something like that. It's like, there you go, kids. This is an invaluable present. You can't get this anywhere else.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Who needs-
it's a decent amount of money, though, you know? Like, I feel like at some point it's just like, oh, like, imagine if it was like $5,000, you know? It's like, this is a region locked SoCal only tournament, $5,000. Like, only someone from SoCal can enter. And these guys smurf. What they did do, though, is they said they don't want any of the fight. Like, they said to the TO, like, oh, I don't want any money. I don't want any of the bounties or anything. But it kind of
Yeah.
just ruins the whole tournament anyway. Like, they're just smurfing for the sake of smurfing.
The-
Like,
Did either of you guys
Just-
read
it's like literally just-
Colbol's like tweet longer about it?
no, what did he say?
He basically said like, "Oh, I was one of the people who was going to play on the account. I knew about it, but I felt bad while we were doing it." And his missus came out and said like, even he's being modest. Like he ended up saying, "No, I don't want to do it," and that they weren't going to take any money and that kind of stuff. But it sounds like, do you guys remember when you're a little kid in primary school or something, and you hatch a plan with a friend? And then you do it, and while you're doing it, you're like, this is just, like, you think it's going to be funny, and then you're like, we're just actually straight up bullying this guy.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
everyone
Yeah.
thinks, like, haha, all like guys was like, haha, what if we did this? And then you realize, like, either as you're doing it or after you're doing it when you've been called out, and it's just like, that was just fucked up what we did there.
It's like badging cars. Like, yeah, guys are really nice.
Yes.
I'm gonna pop this $500 like badge of his car, and then he's like, "That's some guy's car. That's
Or
fine."
like
Yeah,
hitting
it's like-
stickers. Remember that, Kalen?
What was that?
Hitting stickers
Uh,
of the fucking hubcaps. being on the way to school with mum, pretending to tie your shoes and hitting a sticker off a car.
Fucking hell, man.
Like, that was some primary school shit that like we just thought was so funny at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the point though. Like, it is primary school shit, but these guys are like just doing it. Like, they had ages to do it too. Like, they had to like be organized, and it's just like, I can't understand the thought process of it's going to be so funny
Yeah,
to smurf in this tournament and just ruin it.
just
Like,
a bit
it's
out of
super
touch,
funny.
but
We've all smurfed, so I don't know about Mars. Like, I can't imagine you put the time and
I
effort.
don't
Like, I know
smurf.
me and Josh are for sure smurfed, even together. Like,
Oh yeah, like we no, because we made an account called like Charge Thought, and we played only Samus, but that's like just a free, like, you enter a net net play melee, and it's just funny, like
no,
someone
absolutely.
losing to
So
Charge
I
Thought.
guess for them it's just like a slight something like, haha, it'd be funny if we just clap some kids, but I don't think they realize like the kind of adverse effects and like, I don't know, people's getting competitive drive and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's also, I wouldn't do it with money. Money's fucked.
but it's also everyone in Melee, there's been a theme of people like Kimber, or people coming back like what was that Falco player who came back wearing like a mask and fucked a bunch of people up?
Falco Master, like
yeah, all of that stuff. And historically, the community's always thought that's really funny. So I can see why they'd be like, "Hey, Fortnite Fred." Like everyone's bored, everyone's at home. You get your homies on a Discord and you're like, "Oh, we're all gonna play one match each on this account. Like it's gonna be fun. Like just fuck with this thing." But
yeah,
in reality, like Homemade Waffles just try to put something together. He tries to like raise a bounty and get some hype going, and then it kind of just gets ruined.
Yeah, I think it's different as well with Kimber. It's just like he walks in and it's Crush with sunglasses, and you're like, oh, okay, this guy's first seat, I guess. Like,
yeah, but it's
pretty
the
obvious.
idea of like the joke nature of it and people liking that joke.
Yeah, I mean,
Plus,
like,
kids just drink the Crush Kool-Aid anyway. It's like if Mangus did it, like nobody give a fuck.
Yeah. But it's so out of touch. Like, it's not like something he would just do. It's just like, yeah, bro, I really just smurfed. Like, why be bothered, man?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Just,
I guess with this
stream
one,
and
it's like everyone's at home, everyone's bored. You get your Florida boys on the call, everyone's having a laugh.
Yeah, it's just like, haha, we're beating this top player. He doesn't even know it. Oh, shit. Fuck. And we're taunting this guy, too. Haha. Yeah, it's just like... Right.
Also, it's pretty obvious, like, if that kind of thing happens here. I mean, like, straight away, calling out, like, I saw someone registered as Gnome Dome in, like, the seating, and I was like, that's fucking dark. Like, there's no way that's not dark. And I, like, seated him appropriately, and like, why are you putting this literally who is 5th seed for the tournament? And Duck starts clapping everybody. It's like, oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah, we even had someone try to do that with our tournament, Duck.
Yeah, but did Duck ever own up to it that it was him?
No. Well, like, I worked it out because I went onto, like, another Discord tab, and then sort of was, like, live streaming that, and like I just worked it out.
Yeah.
I started
Also,
like posting to play
that one
Melee.
was a free tournament as well. That's a bit different.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's still the same, like on the same line. You know. What you go?
Oh, I was going to say, just to wrap this whole smurfing thing up, I think the interesting part and the telling part for the whole Melee scene wasn't that they did it, because everyone does dumb shit sometimes. It's just how it was handled, you know? All it had to be was like, sorry. Just thought this would be a bit of fun, and obviously it wasn't. Sorry, Homemade Waffles. And like you got kids alt F4ing their Twitter account. You got Plub going like cancel me. Like just
Hacks coming out of the woodworks, like firing shots left firing shots at Hacks. Like
oh yeah, all that shit.
Back? I didn't see left fight back.
So yeah,
left
it's
fight
all
back
money
by doing
stuff,
the right
right?
thing.
He's like, Leffen, you were supposed to give a bunch of your money to fans or whatever, and then Leffen was like, "Where's the Captain Falcon, Hacks?" And that was just it.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
true. That's a crazy call to make as Hacks when you have like that, like that thing there. It's like, remember how you said if you get in, switch to Falcon? He's just like, bro. Anyway, this box here, wow, this shit's cheating.
Hacks Money's like, I've never done anything questionable for money.
Yeah.
Forget about it. Forget about it. It's about you.
He's like, Leffen didn't give him $40, man. He's just like.
That he
He's
still
like,
hasn't got
Don't look
from
at my
eBay.
SDI. Don't look at my fade back Nance, man. Look at Lemon.
Don't look at the fact that
cheating.
I'm using the aluminium bat of Melee.
Bonk.
Yeah. It's like, Hacks,
he's like, he hits the up smash, you just hear bonk.
Hacks, how are you always hitting 5 inputs of SDI? It's like, don't worry, I nerfed it, man. It used
Just
to
like,
be
how do you
sick.
get full stage ledge dashes? It's like, I practice a lot, man. I was doing that on the controller, I swear.
Yeah, so dog shit.
Actually, the box?
Don't do that. I don't want. Oh my god.
But yeah, not handled the best.
Yeah, dog shit.
Beef in the Melee scene in general is kind of settled down, though. It's just like one day of like these two posting backwards and forwards, and then that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
nothing's really going on. I mean, you can't really like, unless it's just like people calling each other out about dumb old shit, which A is already happened, or like, yeah, people just weaning about like fiction's just disappeared off the face of the earth. Like stuff like that just kind of happening. Nothing really interesting to go off.
Is fiction just monumentally boomed? I think that's actually what happened.
Oh, bro, he's fucking in outer space at the moment.
Gumpers has told me that he's been looking for PM games. He's been messaging everyone in SoCal trying to play PM. And his goal in life now is to learn the Nest matchup in PM. And he loses friendlies to this top player, calls him garbage and no fundamentals, and then just goes back and disappears for a day.
Starts grinding again.
And the guy that he's calling garbage is like a top 3 in the world PM player.
It's so fun.
Just gets on the sticks, can't beat him day 1 in the matchup, just starts ranting on Twitter and then goes to bed.
Maybe he was getting too good at Melee and he's just like, man, I just miss getting stepped on in a video game. It's just like, oh, that's better. I'm gonna call this guy dog shit who's farming me.
Calling someone who's farming you dog shit and then just getting off the computer is such a classic smasher move.
Just like,
Dude.
their shit.
Yeah, IBDW and Fiction's relationship is so funny to see live.
Dude,
Like,
just...
it's fucking just like, oh, fuck, man. I don't know how to word it properly, but it's like, for an example, IBDW beat Fiction in like game 5 last hit, and then like Fiction just like storms off, and then I'm just like, Fiction, and Fiction's just like walking off. It's like, shut up, man. He's like, I just wanted to tell him he played well. Like, chasing him down.
Just wanted to.
Like, it's like, he's like, I don't get it, man. Like, he played great. I just wanted to let him know. I'm like, this is either like, this is not troll too. Like, this is just like really like
absolutely
the womb. Just, like,
fringe human beings.
sick, man.
It's like my friend's so sick. He just wasn't sick enough to beat me because I'm also really sick.
Yeah, and like Fiction would like forward throw shine.
And you know, if
IBD,
the shoe's on the other foot, like he's equally as
exactly.
boomed. So it's just
Fiction
like a
forward
complete
throw
lack of
shines
awareness.
IBDW. Yeah, and he goes like, oh man,
Bro.
like really loudly. It's like, oh.
I mean, I've seen it happen to like a lot of good players. I've seen it happen like the trifecta between you two and SA Nick. Like after a tournament, like someone at any point in time, maybe 2 out of 3 are perpetually boomed.
Oh yeah.
There's only one person
man,
on top.
Man leaves the venue unboomed.
Yeah, but like even on the friendly setup, like I'm going over to Miles' house and there's a bunch of boys there, and then it's like SA Nick, Miles, like someone else, and then just like just non-stop complaining. It's just like always Miles. Like, hey man, you played really well. It's just like just don't say that, man. I'm not playing well.
Yeah.
I'm not playing well.
Just stop talking, bro. I'm trying to concentrate.
Nick like I'll like miss a ledge dash. He's like, ugh. And I'm like, dude, fuck up, man. I don't get that. Just like disgusting play. Oh, dude, the
SA
idea
Nick's
of, like,
my favorite boomed melee player.
oh yeah, dude.
Oh,
Genesis
man.
was so sick, man.
Tell
Like,
some
Fest-
Genesis stories.
Fest was just like fucking him. He's like, guess Fest just figured me out, man. And I'm like, nah, Nick, he's just playing really well. And Fest is like, hey man, I think you should. He's like, what should I do, Fest? What should I do? Are you gonna tell me what I should do? And he's just like, yeah, man. Like, he's just like, yeah, crazy that you would just like give me advice here. So funny. And
It's
then
like
Nick
me,
was
the better
I'm
player.
Dog shit. I'm worthless. And then Fest is just like quietly gaming. I'm just there, just like. Ugh. And then the next day, it's me boomed out of my mind. Like Nick's just like camping the piss out of me. I'm just like, fuck, crazy. There's not one approaching option. He's like, why, bro? It's working. He's like, it is working.
And there's just
Nothing
all
you can
smiles from the other guy. It's like, cheer
Yeah,
up,
the other
buddy. We're
guy's
just
just
having
like,
a bit of fun.
Fuck this. He's like, isn't Melee great, man? I'm just like, like viscerally vibrating at the setup. It's like, yes. Oh, Nick's job is to tilt people though. He would just like in the house with like Slime, Ludwig, and Envy. He would just do the Fox challenge where he's like, I'm only gonna up tilt, shine, and back air, and you're gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah, he
He's
really
like, "I'll stop
broke
if you take
Anthony.
a game,
He
man."
broke Anthony's spirits doing that.
Slime was just Slime's just like, is this really how dog shit I am?
Yeah,
And, it was
Nick will
so
make
funny.
people
Did that
not
to
want
him?
to play melee.
Yeah, but then no one said anything to him because like he's just laughing about it. He's just like, just one game. So funny. They liked it. They actually liked it for some reason, but it's still really funny.
Ancient melee Australian lore story. At Miles Warehouse 2, Billy beat SA Nick pretty much only using forward tilt. It was either that tournament or Shadow.
Yeah.
And I think that instilled a hatred in Nick. Nick came back and ended up winning a bunch of tournaments after that pretty quickly. Like, Nick quickly became like one of the best players in the country. But after that, he wasn't the same, man. And now he does it to other people.
How could you, man? Like when you just like so incapacitated by your own tilt, like this guy's just doing one move over and over again. You can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I remember. What was it? It was like a SXC, like one of my first ever SXCs. I think it was my first. And Slime, so not Slime, sorry. Fuck, what's his name? We were just talking about him. Gone blank. Splice.
Nick?
Splice was just dare camping SA Nick on the top plat for like every single
Bro,
game.
SXC 2018.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah. And then
fuck.
Nick just like was housing him at the time. He's like, this guy doesn't
Oh my.
fucking try in friendlies.
I
No,
remember
he didn't
that.
do this all
Didn't do
weekend.
this at all.
Played friendlies all weekend.
He's
He
like,
never
he
did
played
that
friendlies all
once.
week. What a waste of time. I did
Yeah,
the same thing. At that
oh.
one.
Sandbag gate, man. That whole thing was just like Nick conspiracy theorying for the whole night
Yeah.
about being sandbagged on.
And then Splice was just like, I just tried my best every game we played, man. Nick's just like, fuck.
Yeah,
so
2016.
brutal. Yeah.
Do you guys remember when SA Nick housed with Billy and Billy kicked him out of the house over
Oh yeah.
Why? Actually kicked him out.
Nick gets there and they're just playing like silent, revved up nerd friendlies for 2 hours. Apparently,
The classic.
SA Nick was just winning friendly after friendly, and then he says 2 things, and Billy's just like, "I've had enough. You're toxic," and kicks him out of the only place he has to stay. So he's just in like. Billy lives
The
near
deep southeast.
Yeah.
He lives near Clayton.
Yeah, Clayton, with just nowhere to go. He's got his bag, and Billy's just not answering the door. I think Dredd picked Billy up, actually.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, that
insane.
was funny, man. Those two had an interesting friendship.
That's fucked.
It's like two negative symbols. Like you need to balance out the SA Nick with some memes. You got to hit him with the memes when he's boomed.
Yeah.
That car
It's just
ride,
like,
Kalen, with me, you, SD, and SA Nick.
Which what?
SD kept missing the turnoff.
Oh, that was like the day before BAM 9. That was at the Salty Suite when we were driving back from it.
Yeah, yeah.
And we were just like stuck on the freeway for like a solid hour because it was like construction, there's turnoffs, everything. And Nick was just sitting in the back just like...
Every time SD would miss the turnoff, we would go back onto the freeway. It'd be like a 15-minute
We actually did the
detour.
same like loop. It's really like a 4K loop, probably like 3-4 times at least. And it took like a good 10 minutes to get like around at once.
Yeah, and every time SD would be like, "Sorry, boys, I just missed it again. I don't know what came over me." And Nick would just make like a more and more passive aggressive comment. Like he's just so mad.
Yeah. Nick definitely has like a. What are you gonna get out of him this time? God, it's so godlike.
My favorite though, he's one of my favorite people to house with, and one of my favorite people to play
Oh, yeah.
friendlies with, because we have a ritual where we play Melee all day, then we get Indian food, and then we watch a really obscure movie, and then we either watch like YouTube videos after that, or we just go to bed, depending on whether we're like boomed or not from the Melee.
Yeah. His roommate definitely was a super weird kick. And at Big Cheese, he's just like, "Hey guys, you guys want to see pole vaulting accidents?" And we're like, "Oh." And then he's like, we had to give this guy a turn on the YouTube rotation. He just puts them on. This guy's like, "Ah!" He's like, "Ah, ah, ah." Oh,
When you hand a man
lucky.
the YouTube orcs and he just starts putting on live league.
yeah. Yeah, and we're just like, so we. No, not Junior. No, it wasn't Junior. It was
Isn't Junior
it was
gone now?
Clyde. Yeah, Junior's gone.
Clyde's the homie, man.
Anyway, we're getting super sidetracked on just the SA Nick
No,
Chronicles.
it's fine. It's fine. This
There's a world of information on that, man. That's worth talking about.
is exactly what we came for. SA Nick used to last SA Nick roommate side note. He had this roommate called Clyde who lived in a dressing gown and
Ooh.
played 18 games of Dota a day.
Every single day, just day in, day out Dota.
I like him though. Every time I would come
Yeah,
down, he'd
Clyde's
be like,
legend.
"Hey, Donny B, you gonna win this time?" I'm like, "Probably not, my guy, but I'm gonna try my best."
He's just like, ah.
Hearing him yelling through like the paper thin walls.
Jeez, let's go to the paper thing walls. It was
Oh.
definitely a good time staying with SA Nick.
My last
It was
memory
after
of that house is, I don't know if it was Saucy was involved. It was me, Kalen, SA Nick, and some other rat. But they,
I was just about to say this. No,
You
it's
tell- you
saucy.
tell
It's
it, you tell
saucy.
it.
No, it's so pretty much like it's the classic thing. Like someone's off their house, like 2 people. He's like, "Yeah, there's an inflatable mattress, there's a couch, and there's like maybe like a small chair you can like lie on." Like there's always just like someone's gonna cop the short straw, and there was like 4 of us, and like the ritual is normally like random character money match. You play like 1 stock each, whatever. And for whatever reason, like we'd had a couple of beers. Miles was talking a bit of shit. We just like revved up the games, fucking, and we all just kind of like looked at each other, like, all right, let's just put Donnie in the dirtiest and sleep on the smallest like possible like shittest couch. We all knew what was gonna happen, and he just go like, yeah, pretty much. Miles got dogged, and like he's sitting there with like a blanket up to his chin, just like
Yeah.
yelling at the top of his lungs.
He's like, "This is
You
bullshit."
such shit cunts! I'll fucking body you a 1v1 money match me right
Yeah.
now. Fucking like as he's dozing off, just like running his mouth non-stop.
Dude, something similar happened with when it was like me, Fess, Spud, Nick. I think it was just us. And I wake up, man. Fess gets the short straw, man. It's bound to happen. And then like
Whoa.
Fess had to sleep in like this little air mattress thing. And then I wake up the next morning to Fess sleeping on the table with his back like off it like that. And I'm like, "Fess, man." He's just like, "Yeah, boys, the mattress didn't treat me well." And I'm like, "What's
Oh.
wrong with you, man?" Like his
Oh
back is like
yeah, I remember sleeping on the table, right?
on the table. He's like, "I didn't really sleep, guys. I'm not gonna lie." And we're like,
How do I-
"Fess, man, what the fuck is wrong with you?" It's like, "Yeah, excited for the top 8 today, though." Just like,
Oh yeah, that was brutal, man. I
that
had
was brutal.
that was. I've kind of cooked the video here, but that was like three or four of us with 2 couches and just a glass coffee table, Kalen, and Bess slept on the
that was
coffee
nuts.
table with like a
Fucking-
chair for his legs. Oh man. Wait, does anybody in Discord know how to get back to the original view of like? Oh, I think I'm there. Yes, I'm there. Awesome. Boom. I can turn him down a little bit on our end. Yeah, fixed. All right. Yeah, in melee housing, there's generally like one bed that's going to be all right, one bed that's questionable, and then one spot that's like
That's the tournament.
not better than the floor.
Yeah, just everything.
Yeah, it's pretty grim. Like SA Nick didn't really get the short straw when he stayed with when I was living with Sam and Brooke. He's just like, yes, you're gonna sleep on this fold-out couch, but Murphy's there too. And,
It's like you like dogs. Like, no, not really. It's like unlucky, man.
Murphy's just like there, just like looking at SA Nick vibrating at 2 a.m. The thing's so full of energy. He's like, he's just like licking SA Nick's face. He's like, fuck me,
Dude, when,
I'm like,
when I slept on that couch just before the run,
You sleeping on the
you
couch
first.
at Hawk, and like Kobe, Sam, one of our mates, he has like a Maine Coon, which is legitimately a cat the size of a dog. It's like from end to end like this big.
Yeah.
And it just like makes the weirdest sounds like roar. And I remember like getting up to take a piss like 3 in the morning, seeing Miles pass out on this couch, and this cat's just like running over Miles doing laps. And like the cat's so heavy, you can see like physically moving him, and it's just like roar, roar.
It's like revving Miles up. Something similar happened with Murphy when Miles blacked out at my 21st. Just, the dog just like licking his face and just like putting his ass on Miles' face. Miles just like, just like sleeping through it.
So another time I was sleeping in your old place, Josh. Murphy, I don't know why, but he literally four legs, hops up into the air and then stomps my nuts with all 4 of his feet. I was sleeping on my back. He's done this. He's done this multiple times. He's like literally jumps as high as he can and then just like all 4 paws.
He's got really good aim.
Fucking hell.
Papa to the rescue.
He's like, you gaming, Josh?
No, it's a podcast.
Oh, you don't get it, Papu.
Getting rinsed for hitting Uber Eats.
that is actually fair.
He definitely goes like, food here not good enough, huh? And I'm like, well, not true. I have no excuse for my actions here.
You just
I'm
have
just
it.
addicted to seeing the man rock up.
No, you just love hitting that big green cash out button. Seeing
Just
the little
smacking my
motorbike coming down the
unemployed
street.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah,
Oh.
I Uber Eats Maccas at like 11 o'clock last night, so I can't talk shit.
I've been trying to tone it down heaps, just because like being home at all times. No reason
Yeah.
not to cook.
Yeah.
Plus, like, probably just start getting yelled at if I fucking rack it up multiple times a week.
Yeah, no,
Same
that's
thing.
good, man. When the missus has her head screwed on, it's actually a real blessing.
Yeah, it's best to keep it that way. You don't want to see have you seen that cursed image of me with like 15 bags of McDonald's?
Bro,
Just, like,
I've seen that IRL multiple times.
That actually brings me to our next talking point.
Just like Josh's eating habits.
Joshy, Mac is a milkman, all grown up.
Oh, what do you mean, man?
Well, you're on a schedule now. Tell the world about your little schedule
yeah.
game.
Yeah, so pretty much one day I'm waking up at 3 p.m. yet again, and I'm just like, I'm gonna probably enter in some CS today, and then I'll go to bed in about 5 hours. And then like I said, like pretty much enough's enough, and I called a couple people, like, is anyone else just tired of this shit? And like, yeah, we're not really doing anything. Like, I was like Davox, smallest who's from New Zealand, and we had some new recruits along the way, but we're like, let's just fucking keep each other accountable and start doing shit. So Davox does like his uni work. I grind melee and learn Python, but melee grind melee. It's productive enough.
Yeah, at least
And
you're
then
doing
like
something,
Smallest does like and Smallest just does like his Python stuff as well, and it's like it's only been like a week and a bit now, but it's super good to just get on a routine like that, because otherwise you just get trapped in the quarantine genjutsu, man, and no
Right.
one has fun. It's
I've gone down
fucked.
to 3 days a week now, and those 4 days off, like, they're like peak uni years, like degeneracy. Like, I mean,
It's disgusting.
I stayed up just sending beers with the boys on Discord, playing a Final Fantasy MMO till 4 a.m. Like,
Yeah.
first time in like who knows how long. And I'm sitting there like swaying in my chair, looking at this fucking like cat girl casting spells. And I'm just like, what's wrong, man?
Yeah, it's super hard to just like not get sucked into the source, because it's right there.
Yeah.
Like
Oh.
you got beers, you got fellas, everyone can just do it now.
If
But-
if you can't go out, like,
It's like,
I
what's
have
the
absolutely no
ramification
reason
as
not to
well when
sleep
you're
in.
like working less?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's absolutely no reason not to sleep in. I mean, you should get up, like, just for habit's sake. But, like, I've been
Yeah.
catching myself getting up, like, midday every day on my off days. It's fucking grim.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's
But yeah,
like,
it's good. Schedule's
it's-
everything, man.
honestly, the biggest thing for me is I'm not going to follow the schedule if I'm doing it. I'm a piece of shit. I don't give a fuck about my health or well-being. But if other people are like, so Josh, man, like you get up at 9:40. We have a meeting at like 9:45 every day, which is still pretty late-ish, but like it's because he's in New Zealand and Davin doesn't want to get up after 9 in SA. It's like, okay, it makes sense. And we go like, well, what are we doing today? It's like, oh, today I'm going to work out at this time. I'm going to do productivity time for 2 hours at this time. And we like stay in a call and we just go like, has everyone had their water? Is everyone's posture fine? Is everyone doing this? It's just like, it's kind of weird, but
No, that's
at
good,
the same
man.
time, it's been really helpful.
That's
Like,
pretty
I
much like
definitely
what a
would recommend it.
workplace is, or school,
Yeah.
or any structured.
Yeah, structure, it's
Yeah.
so key, man.
Like you'd have a manager, or you'd have a teacher, or you'd have somebody there, or a workmate.
Keeping each other
Yeah.
accountable is really important as well.
yeah,
Otherwise,
for
that
sure.
person just does not give a fuck about like being ashamed. Like absolutely no shame.
Or
Yeah, no, you definitely have to do it with people who don't get sidetracked too. Like
Yeah.
some people are definitely just like there for the social aspect of it, but it's just like I talk to my friends pretty much every single day that I've been in quarantine, like about just nonsense. You know what I mean? Like
Must be
it's
nice,
not like
man.
I'm. All right, I just think that's funny, Callum, that you would just cut me off there. You know, I just thought we were a bit tighter. Hey, but anyway, man, it's good to have someone just like reel you in, and like they're also like in need of being reeled into. So you feel like no one's like kingpin, but you're all just kind of like keeping each other alive on the rope. which is
some
really-
accountability buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great name for the group chat, actually. One second.
It's good, man.
Anyway, yeah, that's been super
See,
dark.
me, nobody's been keeping me accountable, and I literally,
Oh, yeah.
I lost a week to Classic Maple Story. Like, I don't know, I didn't do anything else during that week. I would wake up, I'd jump on Maple, start talking to Chapos. We start talking, what scrolls you got, man? What are you doing? Where you grinding? What's going on? Like, how's your mesos looking? Like, what equips you building? Next thing
This
I
is a
know,
private
it's
server,
4 a.m.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, we're playing 2007 era Maple Story, Kalen.
Yeah, the classic.
Yeah.
It's fucked, man.
I've definitely waned off, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start this podcast as well, is to talk to all you guys and a bunch of American smashers, see how they're going with everything. Basically, just
Yeah.
get people talking, because I never used to do this, but I've been going to sleep listening to podcasts or listening to like YouTube now. And Josh, I remember when you used to tell me that you go to sleep watching YouTube videos, I was like, fucking hell, this guy needs some
Yeah.
help.
Bro, I've been falling asleep watching like. There's been Dota tournaments on consistently because there's meant to be heaps of LAN events and they're all like live streamed at the moment, and they're all in EU, so just like cooked times. But yeah, I've like falling asleep to like games being played and like commentators just screaming at each
Yeah,
other.
it's really not good. The blue light too, from like having a phone that close to your face. Like I
Yeah.
got off it. I'm not gonna like pretend like I'm 100% off it. Like some nights I'll be like I can't sleep. I need something to like keep my mind off whatever I'm thinking about, and I'll put a video up, and I always notice that my sleep's a dog shit in comparison to just like half an hour before. Like fuck, like it's you hear it all the time, but everyone's like half an hour before of no PC or phone. What the fuck? Like no
Yeah.
one really wants to do it, but it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
you got to
have,
get
like-
it back on the books, man.
Yeah, for sure. Just have a
I
shower
mean-
or something.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I read a lot, but I always read on my phone. So, like, getting into bed and then reading on my phone just fucking negates it anyway.
Yeah, you're doing like the good thing, but on a shit platform. That sucks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you guys see that meme that was like quarantine schedule? It's like small screen, medium screen, big screen for the majority of the day, back in bed, small screen. And I was like, fuck, that's
Yeah.
really hitting right
That
now.
you-
Yeah,
That's
it's
fucking grim.
fucked.
See,
There's
like-
no topic command mic B.
Nah,
but we're
that's
talking
Looking at
about
only screen
scheduling.
all day, every day has made me realize that, like, I might actually need glasses because it's just, like, this far away from a monitor at all times. Just kind of, like, staring at it.
Yeah, I
Legitimately
the
feel
same
like
way
I'm
now.
just deteriorating.
Yeah, it's bad. It's definitely not fucking good. But it's definitely good to be like obviously you have no problem, Caitlin. You're a nice fit individual you are. What man?
I'm just a scrape boy, man.
Oh, boys, I bought
Well,
a
maybe
Fitbit
nowadays.
and I was wearing it yesterday and it said 55 steps when I went to bed.
That's
Look,
fucked.
I'm here,
dead, man.
I'm
I
here to
don't
tell
like
you guys
that.
the truth.
Bro,
I'm here to
don't
tell you
like
guys
that.
how I'm living.
Like, I'm ashamed if I don't hit like 6K steps in a day. That's fucked.
Fuck me dead, man.
I literally went bed,
That's bad.
bathroom, shower, back to bed. To be fair, I wasn't wearing the Fitbit the entire day. There was probably like an
Go
extra.
like 7 or 8 steps
Just
along
like
the way.
27 steps to the fridge
but
back
yeah,
a couple of
legit.
times.
I went bed, shower, computer, kitchen, computer, bed.
Bro, like, how are your bones? They must actually just be deteriorating.
Yeah.
It's horrible,
before
man,
getting
it's
on-
horrible.
It's bad. Before getting on the schedule, my lower back pain was just like fucked. I'm just like wake up, sit at computer, do nothing, do it again. I like be awake for like 7 hours. It's so bad. It's so terrible for you. But I mean, definitely being on the schedule isn't for anyone. But try to think of something productive you can do, at least like while you got time.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
you hear
absolutely.
this nonsense vomited like all the time. You know what I mean? Like it's like hey, why like get a skill, you know, get a life. Just like think about something you like doing, and just like, well, could I get better at CS? How would I get better at CS? It's like
Yeah,
maybe
take it one
actively
step at a time
practice.
as well. You don't have to like
Yeah.
proactively switch everything up. That's a big mistake a lot of people do make. Is kind of like, all right, I'm
Try
gonna
to
switch
switch too
everything up.
much
I'm gonna
at
like
once.
stop drinking soda water. I'm gonna go to bed at the right time. I'm
Oh
gonna eat
yeah.
good food, and you just like, fuck this. Getting Mac is booting up like the Pornhub again. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a big cycle.
Yeah, definitely get off it. Also, definitely be alright with just like, I am on Unity 2, Mike B, for Python. It's so good, man. Like, definitely check out. Oh no, what am I saying? Sorry. Udemy. Sorry, mixed up.
Udemy's really good.
is really good for like learning anything. There's so
I've been
much stuff.
using for project management courses. It's really good.
Project
Also,
management,
LinkedIn Learning's doing a lot of free platform stuff at the moment as well, which I'm doing for work, which is pretty handy. It's not the be all end all, but it's pretty handy.
Yeah, they
I
say
mean,
it
you can
takes
definitely just do shit.
2 weeks to form a habit apparently.
Yeah.
And so whenever anybody's like, man, I've changed, like the last 3 days I've been doing XYZ, I'm like, cool, man, tell me about it in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I'm definitely the king of that. Like, no more McDonald's, and it's just like, no, all right, man. We'll see you on the other side.
That was the classic Maccas and Milk, man. He used
That
to,
was the
Oh
days,
man,
yeah.
the amount of times like I'm quitting Maccas to just like have Jack send me a photo of you like looking ashamed and booting up the Uber Eats
just
app.
like the QP in hand, just like, don't, dude, don't do this to me.
oh,
I mean, that
man.
was fucked. That was like actually just like so lazy. But I mean,
That was good, that
Try
room
not to
though,
look
man.
up.
That room just,
that room had some
just
great
a
sessions in
converted
it.
lounge room,
Yeah,
just
yeah, lounge room with my bed in
Mickey
it.
D's bags everywhere, just boot up the sticks. My favorite memory of that room is when us three and Jack spent that night we were playing Melee and then we started playing Mario Kart.
Who remember?
Kaylin was there too.
Fuck, take me
You
back.
guys were teaming. I can't remember. I think Kaylin spiked or something like that.
I
Like,
can
Oh,
remember
yeah,
it really
yeah,
clear.
she's
yeah.
Kaylin, man.
Because I have a lot of anger in my heart, especially like losing at children's party games, and sometimes when I just get outplayed, I spike.
Yeah,
Sound
that takes a
familiar,
real
right,
loser
Josh?
to do.
Yeah, and I can remember that me and Kaylin were on a
yeah.
team and the lines we were taking were just absolutely insane.
Coming. Oh, sorry. Just,
Solid fake out.
fuck, I couldn't do it. I just remember I'm playing on camera.
But yeah, I mean that was probably one of the only times I've seen. No, that's not true. It's one of like probably top 5 times I've seen someone genuinely spike.
I was a little tipsy and it was nonsense
He
lines.
came back.
I could see the rage flowing through your veins.
It wasn't a Nez though. If it was a Nez spike, something's up. I probably need to go to the psych at that point.
I could
Get
tell, like,
notches for Mario Kart.
you spent just long enough out of the room as well, where you were coming up with like, "Oh, how do I go back in the room and tell the
excuse, yeah,
fellas this was
I
a
only
joke?"
pretending to be.
Yeah.
To
It's
other
like you're
fellas.
mad.
You're mad.
Having to crawl under the table and pick up the spiked controller as well.
Dude, Clem at Big Cheese shattering her controller on my chair leg because she lost in doubles, and I was just like, "Fuck me, man!" Just like you just see this, like I'm like playing a set and it just shatters in front of me. I'm like, "Fuck me, dead man."
When the spike explosion goes off right near you and you catch a bit of shrapnel mid-set.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shrapnel was fucked. I'm just like, "What's happened here?"
Yeah. No, I've spiked a Nez before. I think I've told this story before. It was yeah, Nick got a you know the coins in the bonus minigame in Mario Party, you get to scratch off. He got 2 100s in a row to take coin stuff from me and Ben, who were like 180 coins up, which sealed the game. And I was just like, cord
see red.
onto hard tiles. It was a best of 3. It was game 3. It was about 1 a.m. Me and Ben are like borderline blacking out, just barely keeping it together.
It's like when you come to the controls on the ground.
I literally
It's like-
woke up the next day and like went to the controller straight away, looked at it, plugged it in. It didn't work because the motherboard snapped inside. I was just like, something's got to change, man. And then me and Ben
Yeah.
started playing Mario Party at like 3 p.m. and drinking again.
Oh yeah, that's the fucking classic.
I miss that
what was
guy,
I gonna
man.
Bring up, yeah, True King. What was I gonna bring up? I was gonna bring up I kind of want to bring up like a little bit of like the history of the scene. Not really like the history, but how everyone's doing like now, like what the plan is for after everything. Like kind of what we feel like the vibe is going to be after quarantine.
True,
'Cause, like,
true.
In my opinion, like I don't think like sometimes you're gonna get like a freak who's gonna come out of quarantine just like hitting their shit because they've done nothing but play Melee. But I feel like especially with all this quarantine time too, whenever I ask anyone who wants to get better, I'm like, why don't you like play more? They're just like, I just don't have time, man. I'm like, fair, you can't really argue with that. Like, fair enough. You can sneak in an hour here, maybe, sure. But now it's like, oh, why aren't you playing, man? It's just like, oh, I was just like watching simple clutches 1v5 highlight videos for my whole day. Yeah, but I can play whenever, like, you know, like I feel like I want to practice, I want to get better, and it's just like, what
It's
the
kind of a
fuck?
mixed bag because in this current environment, like I've noticed some people are either like A, super motivated or B, like really demotivated. Like I have to
Yeah,
really, really push myself to do something moderately productive. Otherwise, I'm legit just fucking watching simple 1v5s.
yeah, exactly. It's hard to, man.
Or
Like
like
that's the
even when I
thing.
boot up the net play, I'm just picking Falco and trying to just like Yars kids with the F
Yeah,
smash.
exactly. I mean, you're just like trying to fill the days. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I'm
And
in
it's
the more
fucking grim.
motivated camp with Melee at the moment, and I mean, I've said this a million times, but at the moment, I really want to start playing again. I'm starting to focus on the game again, especially playing you every day, Josh. And I
Yeah,
think for me, thinking about the game is like a distraction, and it always has been. Like if I'm being real, it always has been like an escape,
okay.
competing and like thinking about how the game's going to play out and like, oh, does up air beat this move here? And just, you know, when you go to bed thinking about the Melee that you've been playing and like not thinking
Yeah,
about like winning or losing, but like think about the scenarios. I think
yeah.
I'm more back into that than I have been in a long, long time. Like think about like what actually beats what.
And you think that's bad?
I don't think it's bad. I think it's just, um,
Tunnel vision?
You said it was a distraction, right?
yeah. It's just something that I like to sort of go back into when nothing else is really going my way, like in like shittier times or whatever.
Hmm.
It's a nice place because it's like, well, all I have to do is figure out when I need to up tilt to beat Cheeks forward air, and then everything will be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a
simple
nice,
solutions
simple
to simple
problem.
problems that aren't like the big picture kind of
Yeah,
thing.
so for
Yeah.
me, I've been really getting back into it, but I can see why, especially with tournaments being online and stuff. It's if I was like trying to climb the PR or be one of those kids who's like, oh, I'm going to be up next or whatever, it would seem pretty like a pretty shitty time to be doing that. If you had
Hmm.
like goals that were based on performance aspirations rather than just like I'm going to get good and I'm just going to play every day.
Hmm. I think it's really interesting that you think it's like a distraction, but I feel like you made a lot of sense with how you're like, my mind will do this if nothing is really going on, which makes a lot of
I'm just
sense.
much more interested in it because it's like I've been watching a fuckload of Melee as well. I've been almost watched like I'm watching old classic sets like
Yeah, me
2014,
too.
15, 16 and just like really looking at the gameplay.
Yeah, I fully agree, but the way, at least comparatively, my mindset with Melee has always been like, obviously we've all like I mean, I don't know if we've all, but like for me at least, I've had like, what the fuck am I doing, man? Like, these kids in America are playing Mango day in, like Noel plays Mango day in, day out. These top players just play each other every day. Like the info is in such a unique circle where it's like, how am I going to improve when like it's like the rich are getting richer of like improvement and they're playing against the best options and they're adapting the meta as they go.
I had a conversation with
Like,
SA Nick about this.
yeah, it's hard. We had a conversation about it at Genesis too, which was like we're all just like Nick and I was just like Nick was like, I just wish I could fucking put time into this game and not feel like dog shit because I live in Australia, and that hurts,
I
man.
feel like
It's
That's a pretty
it's a bit of a cop out.
yeah. That's
it's
like
it's a
cop
cop
out. I
out
mean,
as
like,
well, but
at
it's
the end of the
also
day,
when
like you get where
yeah,
you're coming from, but like at the same time, it really comes down to like if there's only 4 or 5 actually good top players, guys need to work on like a level of collaboration and genuinely like to drive like each other forward. Like less about like crabs in the bucket of beating each other and more of kind of like how do we develop together, like actually work collaboratively. And that obviously that's difficult because a Spud doesn't really give a fuck. Like
yeah,
everyone has different
exactly.
motivation, like visions, lifestyles, all that kind of stuff.
I
I
mean,
mean,
Yeah.
in saying that, I am doing that. Like every day, I play with Donnie and Sock, and we go like, "What are you doing wrong here? Doing this?"
Yeah, we look
Like
at
we
our
try to
games we
talk, but
play
they
on
don't want to
Slippy.
fucking. Some players just don't want to hear it, man.
Yeah.
Like they really don't want to hear it.
This
Like
is
SA Nick is right now locked up in CMAX, like
yeah,
grinding money. Like
he's pretty
I would love
unable to
man.
do anything right now. But
Like Fest would come over a lot. Oh, sorry, you go.
oh no.
Cut you off.
Sorry to cut you off. Well, what I was saying about the whole SNIC thing though is he was like, well, I've got all these bad habits because I'm punishing Musket for doing the same thing over and over again. And he's like, well, I'm hoping that he learns so that when he learns how to play this scenario, I'll get better practice from him. And
Yeah,
what
exactly.
what I was saying and like what I really believe in is like to get good in a region without maybe you don't have any other players that are like quite on your level. Maybe there's even no one to collaborate with on a level where you can like move each other forward and you've got to try to bring your scene up or whatever. Instead of doing that, you can take the left approach and just like not play the option that's going to kill him, even though you know that it'll kill him for doing the thing that he always does, and
being aware of it.
play the pro option. And that is so hard to do. I've been trying
It's
to play
so
people on net
difficult,
play
man.
and not just hit them for their bad habits, not just play the same back air over and over again. Because we've all played that session of Melee where it's the same game every game.
Yep.
And I'm trying to
Yeah,
just work on the things that I want to work on, regardless of what they're doing, and like play the scenario the way I think it should be played. And to stay in that mindset like all the time. It's so hard. I can do it for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But I think that's the way you have to go.
To bite, like when someone's like, I know he's going to do a jump here. Like, I know he's going to jump here. If I do it like against a good player though, if I miss the jump read here, I die. You just have to think that. But then like, it's so hard. It's just like...
keeping the train of thought going.
Exactly. In America, it's like you shine the jump. Next time he's probably not going to jump. That jump probably was optimal. You read like a really optimal option. Like the meta's going to advance from there because that's just how it progresses. Here it's like the green. It's like saying like a button asks like the lights on top dinged and you just can't press it. And it's like your brain just wants to press it.
Yeah, because you get the dopamine from getting the hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you win the game.
It's just like, oh, it's so fucked. You just have to like... The way Leffen did it, man, he like made the game not a game anymore. And he's just like, this is a trick question. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's insane to me.
Because like it's not even an option that you need to learn to cover, because it's not an option that's in the top player vernacular, or like it's not one of the options that actually is like a true mix up in that situation. It's just a thing someone always does, like they always jump when they get hit or whatever. And to leave those players behind and just never hit that stuff and never develop your own bad habits from it is so hard.
It is very hard. And also one thing as well is the only thing we can see and study is what is presented to us from tournaments.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can study like ZXB and I had a conversation about this. He's like, yeah, so like I watched so many Mucha King VODs back in the day before he came here. And we call it like the iceberg. And he's just like, I watched all this stuff and he just didn't do any of it. He just didn't show me anything. Like he's just like, all we were able to watch was like the pinnacle, like the tip of the iceberg. But then there's just like so much more like knowledge and like interactions that top players don't do against each other.
And that's like lived experience.
Yeah, exactly. And like sometimes you just can't get that until you just get fucked by something.
Yeah.
Like that's why I feel like a 1 in a million player like Spud, who I truly believe is like a savant in the game. Like this guy's a freak, man.
Yeah.
But, like living here and still being like that insane and doing like what he's done. It's like sometimes I feel like there really is only so much he can do. Like I'm not going to go tell Spud to work harder.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Sure, he gets sidetracked with Final Fantasy a lot and like all that shit.
That's just who he is, though. That's like telling Mango to drink less. It's like, who are we to say?
Yeah,
who are we to say what's going to affect his tournament performance?
Yeah, and what he wants to do is fine, but I feel like at some point, man, he really did put in enough hours where it's like these results should probably be better for how he understands the game. Like if he lived in America, there's no question he'd be like a top 30 player.
Spud's one of them, and I tell people this all the time, man. Spud is... I've played a lot of players, man. I've played everybody. You know, when I lived in America, I would make a point of playing everyone's hometown hero. You know, everybody's got a friend. Everybody's got a guy they reckon is that guy. And, you know, you go through a full haul in Genesis and you're asking for games, you're playing all these people. I've never met another Spud, man. Even some of the gods, like some of the situations he recognizes.
Yeah, he has stuff that's only limited to him, and it's honestly insane. But a good point from Kizzy here is so a lot of people have been like, Spud moved to Melbourne, you can play Josh, you know, you guys can like push each other. Because I've been close to Spud. Obviously, I've never beaten him, you know, but it's not like
still
wash
good
3-0,
practice,
that's it every single time, you know. So like at least I have something, you know. It's not the same as playing as someone you go even with, but he's always just been like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess that's where his priority lies.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
At the end of the day, if Melee kind of had more of a payout or like kind of more of a future to it than it currently does, it'd be a lot more enticing to kind of try it.
Exactly.
Also, kind of, with the way the gameplay kind of works out now, like he doesn't play Melee right now at all, purely because like he thinks it's the lamest thing ever. He thinks the way the game is played currently is extremely lame, and he hates it. At least that's what I've taken away from like his ranting on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah,
He'll be back.
Oh, they're always back.
Yeah.
But with like what Kizza was saying was like people have been like, you should just spend time in America, man. It's just like there's a lot to it. Like you got to uproot your whole life.
Yeah,
He doesn't have that much money. How's he going to earn money while he's over there?
Yeah,
he's going to invest a year or so.
It's not
of
as
his
easy
life.
as people think.
Yeah,
You can't just become a roadman.
Yeah, you can't. Like
I mean, you
Donnie
can, but
kinda
it's
did
like
it, but it's fucked. It's just not.
I landed in optimal situation. Like I basically high rolled when I left to America. I had nothing but a suitcase. I didn't really know anyone there. I knew actually, you know, Rubber Dougie. You know Doug from Sacramento? Yeah, that was my one connection. Fuck, I love that guy. I go for the Sacramento Kings in basketball because somebody asked me who I go for in basketball, and my only connection was Rubber Dougie. So I was like, well, I guess I go for Rubber Dougie's hometown, Sacramento King, and they're the shittest team in the league. Their star player is known for just being a bitch. Like, he just doesn't do anything.
Dougie, no.
Anyway, yeah, I basically high rolled. Like I met Nick at a tournament. He said we got a spare room. Him and Chong drove me home. I ended up paying fuck all for that room because Nipa went home and was still paying rent. So I was paying split prices of sharing a room with Chong to have my own room. So and then I met Anthony through going to tournaments, and he already knew those guys. So everything just kind of clicked together. And now obviously I've got a place to stay when I go there. And to high roll a situation that good, and it still cost me like 20K to live there for a year and a half. And I was making money, eventually through the podcast, and I was making money eventually through poker and stuff. So yeah, it's not an easy choice, man.
Yeah, and there's always the chance that you don't get that high roll.
Yeah, no, of course. I don't think if I did that 10 more times in 10 different universes, I'd end up with this good of a situation. But I guess onto a bit more of a positive note, as we were saying, like, once this is all over, you had some pretty big plans, Josh, that might not be able to come to fruition now.
Oh, with like the States?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wanted to campaign for Summit for sure. Could have campaigned for the one while I was in America, but I had all this shit with work. Like, I'd already been there for so long. I can't just throw away my life back home.
It's like burning out.
Yeah, like that too. Like, the burnout was insane after Lombardi. Like, I was on a new stick. Nothing was really hitting like the way I was used to, and I'm like, that was my last chance. Like for the rest, probably like, well, not for the rest of the year if I want to go back later on, but I'm like, for this half of the year, that was it. And it's just like, it's so hard to just be like, do I really like just get fucking owned that hard and then go like, I'm also going to quit my job back home, not have enough money in my account to pay rent for
all
like 3
in
months straight. Yeah, do I just all in here? And like, and it doesn't even say that takes guts. That's just a stupid.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it's
just
unfair on me, so many other people I live with, and for what payoff is to like stay in a house with the best players for 3 days? An insane payoff, but you just lose too much, and like I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it would have been a tough move to go for it right there and then.
The big upside is there are plenty of opportunities here for that, though. Like, as you said, moving forward, if you campaign again, you can always just run it back.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, but then like, you gotta like, oh, man, it was so hard when coronavirus hit, man. Like, I wanted to go to Smash Camp. I really wanted to go to Summit. I wanted to get it all planned together.
We were planning to do that together, yeah.
I was saving so much money at work, and then it's like, lose your job, like have to move back to Sydney. I'm blessed to be able to move back in with my grandparents, and they don't charge me. Like, that's like, I can't complain. You know what I mean? I got a really good like end game here. A lot of people are suffering, which sucks. You know what I mean? A lot of people. But just with that whole situation, it just affected like, I don't know when I'm gonna have a job again. I'm marked as dependent on Centrelink because I didn't work 18 months in a row, so it's like I didn't get that much money from Centrelink, from like the dole here. For those who don't know, it's like unemployment,
like benefits, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't get much off that either. So it's like I'm just sitting in this room, like, when can I do the thing I really want to do? And it's so hard to like, I have to keep this motivation for how long? Like 6 months of just like not playing anyone who like challenges me. Like, it's more so like we also like, I fucking won the net play tournament with Donkey Kong, you know what I mean?
It's not so much like, even about being challenged, it's like even just being shown new ideas. Like,
yeah,
even if it's by worse players.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I can study bots and all of that, but
yeah.
It's a bit different. I'm really blessed to have people who do want to still play with me and still improve though. So like, I can't fully complain. But there have been some rough days where I wake up, I'm like, I'm really going to play another 5 hours of Melee
it's today. Like, what's the point of this? Yeah.
Like I could be doing anything else. I'm really just going to sit down at this fucking setup for 5 hours. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, our faith in the sticks are being tested in these hard times.
For sure.
But
it's like
that being said, I feel like the floodgates, at least for the first time in like, who knows how long, maybe like 3-4 years, the floodgates are going to come off crashing open. Like, the amount of people purely coming back from the social side, it's going to be a massive revamp, and then people are going to bring their friends, and new people are going to show up. Like, it's going to be absolutely nuts, like, by the time it actually does happen. And I feel like that'll be like a kind of soft revival of Melee again. Because, I mean, you kind of stagnated a little bit in the last 12 months, maybe 18 months.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like the pure drive, at least from a social aspect, will put more people in front of the setups.
Yeah, no, for sure. I feel like in saying that though, like one thing I'm a bit like not disappointed with, it's like I wanted to, like, with the whole coaching thing, it's like it got to the point where I just want to talk about the game. I need any excuse to talk about the game, where I'm pretty much offering free coaching.
Yeah, of course.
I'm like,
why not?
Anyone wants any advice from the game at all, I will give it to you for free. I will run down with your gameplay for an hour, and I will tell you what you are doing wrong. I will give you a practice routine to fix it, and you will improve. And like, it's hard to hear from the people who've been to me, like the amount of people who've said to me, I want to be so good at Melee. like over and over again. It's just like it hurts every time because it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
like I want you to be good at melee, but just don't tell me. Like I think that's KMS in chat. Like KMS, we went over a lesson, and like he was super receptive. He's actively trying to get good, and that's like
Dude,
really good.
KMS has improved very quickly. He actually plays proper melee.
Yeah, no, that's what I definitely like. I love shit like that. You know, I can't expect everyone to jump on the bandwagon, but to hear certain players be like, I just really want to get good at melee during this quarantine, man. I'm like, I'm offering free coaching. That it's like, yeah, so I'm probably just like not going to practice at all this week.
Yeah, it's like, that standard thing. It's like, I want to be really rich. It's like, work hard. And they're just like, I want to be really, really rich without working hard.
Here is a crisp $50 bill to start you off. He's like, oh, I want to be rich now, thanks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's rough.
It's fucking. I'm just disappointed in that, but I can't blame the scene for wanting to do other stuff, especially when everyone's probably super fucking depressed, man. Like, it's hard to want to do anything.
I think the updraft of all of that though is that our scene has become so much more than just about the game itself, and for better or worse, it has become much more of a social thing for a lot of people. And I think the game has taken a real backseat for like 80% of the community in the last while. Josh looks like he's lagging out, but he'll probably be back.
He's definitely gone to the nether realm.
I thought for a second that he was
the
just
HD FaceTime.
For a second, I thought he was just super pensive.
No, that's just the FaceTime. But yeah, no, I feel you on that front. But I still feel like when like the tournaments do come back, there are a lot of people that do want to improve, and there are like a lot of people that kind of want to grind, but like they may not necessarily want to go down the route of being coached by Josh. They kind of want to just do their own thing, or they kind of just I mean, there's a lot of different kind of facets for improvement and stuff like that. Just because there's certain kind of ways of going about it, and like it may even be the best getting coaching from the better players. Like I don't know. I know kids are still out here grinding.
Yeah, they're still playing in whatever.
And just because like they haven't been playing for 4 years or 3 years or whatever it takes to normally get to like that peak time, except for a couple of players.
Oops, sorry, videos.
Like I feel like there's people still out there grinding, but it is like kind of a lull, especially seeing as how like there's no end in sight properly at the moment. So it's kind of like, why put in so much time and effort and like grind your heart out when you don't know when you'll actually be able to go back to it? And you're like just staying on top of stuff non-stop is kind of one of the hardest things. Yeah,
for sure. But I mean, you probably know better than anyone, Kalen, with all the organizational stuff that's going to be coming back once all this is over. Like BAM's going to be, I'm sure, just as big as ever, if not bigger than ever.
Oh, it's going to be bonkers. I mean, the amount of things that we had in the works leading up into like mid this year, later this year, were actually like, it was going to be the biggest and best year by far. And like, obviously this happens, we have to put everything on ice. We're kind of making do with online tournaments, which is fine. I mean, at least we get to do stuff in some capacity with the community, and like at least people get to compete in some capacity. I'm probably going to try and start running like a bi-weekly netplay tournament, just like fuck around thing more so, and trying to implement some sort of competitive system into that, just kind of get people more engaged. Because the first one was pretty well received, all things considered. I mean, there are a million dropouts, but that's just netplay tournaments in itself.
Yeah. It's hard. It's like I was saying, I can't really fault people for wanting to get better at melee, because it's just like the game, you just get fucked for so long too, you know? Like you just get dicked on for ages and ages. And it's like not like you go.
Oh, sorry, I was just gonna say, like, I didn't really play for the first month of going into quarantine. Like I hit the sticks like pretty frequently, not before that. But like, I didn't play for like a month at all. And then I've only really been playing Falco the last couple of weeks. And I still go through these like, waves like, man, I should really like start grinding because I really want to and stuff like that. And like I just look at this set, I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna try and like dunk some kid with Falco.
Yeah, because it's right there. It's like pretty similar to the whole
Uber
concept
Eats,
of smurfing and the Uber Eats. Yeah, it's like I just want to feel good off this thing right now. You know, like especially like I was saying, like with how everything is now, it's like not much is making you feel good, man.
Yeah.
Like and like not much is making you feel good that isn't hurting you. Like sure, sitting in the court with the fellas, like drinking, playing poker, whatever. Like it's fun, but it's like you can only do it so much in a row without like, all right, now back to the grind. Or all right, now back to this, and it gets bad. The melee is one of those things, like, I fully, like, think is, like, you can just do it, man. Like, you can just dunk with kids. You've already gotten good enough, you know what I mean? Just fuck them. Like, and that's fine.
Yeah, like, definitely feels that way.
Yeah, it's not, the grind of, like, wanting to be, like, the best ever is, like, not for everyone. And that's definitely, like, Clem is saying in chat that she's like, while I disagree with a few things, like you can't really argue with someone saying I've just like accepted that I'm probably not going to be
If
great.
that's a conclusion
like,
you want to come to, I mean, we all write our own stories, right? Like
Yeah.
me, I'm old. I've been playing Melee for a long time. But if I genuinely believe in my heart and start grinding again and be like, all right, this is my umpteenth shot at like trying to break this plateau that I've been on for a while and like climb to the next level or whatever. Like if I
Yeah.
genuinely believe that and I'm genuinely studying and like genuinely trying again, well then that's fine. But if I believe in my head that it's over, then that's the truth as well. You know, like you make your own truth in that way, and whatever you want to accept is fine.
Exactly.
I think
like,
it's fine to go either way there.
I fully agree. Like with CS, like something I've just picked up. I've never played a shooter before. Like it's kind of similar-ish to Melee, where it's like 10 years of 15 years plus experience everyone's got. Like I'm low silver. I don't enjoy like just getting domed because I don't get to play much. Like,
Yeah, that's the worst part about
you
CS.
go in, you die. You go in, you die. You get like another shot. You get another shot. You can practice. You can do this. You can do that. But I don't get the same like dopamine or like the I want to get better at this because it feels good to kill someone. I kill someone, and I'm like, oh, fuck. You know?
I did the thing.
Yeah, like I did the thing. Like, no, I'm not gonna get flamed by some like random 13-year-old on the internet.
Dude,
And I'm
Melee's
like, okay.
Melee's feedback mechanics in the sounds, in the animations, in the way that moves feel when
Directional
they hit.
influence, like you're always playing, you know.
Not only
It's
that,
just like,
but I
you
just mean
can't
like the way
really
that
DI a
it
headshot.
hits your brain when you do something huge in Melee is just so timeless. Like the
Yeah.
sounds are so good, the hits are so meaty. It's like it just feels so good to play that when you play something like CS, I can see why you feel that way.
Yeah, and it's like there's so much like niche information, which I'm 100% agreeing on, that I am being lazy with, like smokes on Mirage, or
can't
where
be
to
fucked.
flash, or how the flash works, or the spray patterns for certain guns. And it's just like, before I know most of this stuff, I'm going to be getting fucked.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
I'm in low silver and I'm getting fucked.
yeah,
Like,
and the
there's
secret
no-
is that you just need to be having fun while you're learning, right? And I think as we get
It's-
older, we all want to skip that process because we feel like we need to make up the time.
Yeah, and I'm not
Yeah.
have fun in that
I
process.
mean, that's
at
been
all.
my entire Melee career. I mean, like, I've always played better people better than me, and I've always gotten dunked on for it, but I've always just enjoyed playing the game.
Yeah,
I mean, and some people are kind of fine with that.
yeah. I mean, it's definitely like a to each their own, and everyone's got their own game. Like Parbu queues up for the Rift day in day out, like hating it. Like he probably hates it most of the days, but he loves the game, so it's like, you know, that's for him. A lot of other people have no aspirations of getting better at League of Legends. I
they're
don't
still
know why I
queuing it
play that
up.
game. I play because I get to play with Don. I haven't solo queued. In
We
so
have
long,
we have a
and I-
lot of fun. We actually do. We just meme it up for better or worse. Usually I'm
Oh, man.
feeding, so some stuff
Like, you-
happens.
Yeah,
Um,
pretty hype.
Yeah, I think to wrap up this whole topic though, I was watching the C9 when they won the league and stuff, and what Jack was saying is he's like, we have the facilities and we can give someone everything they need to be world class at this game. What I can't do is force someone to be passionate. And we're not gonna be policing solo queue. We're not gonna be policing who's doing what. Because if I'm on your shoulder like a parent going, oh, are you practicing enough for like, and they're going, yeah, I want to win, I want to be the best, and that's not real. That's not coming from their heart, and they're not doing that with their soul. You know, they're not like pushing to be the best. He's like, I can't. No salary, no facility, nothing we can give them is gonna make them into a world class player who wants that.
Yeah,
And he's like, at that point, we basically have to let them go or figure out basically how long their career is going to last or whatever. And that's kind of the golden ticket. That's what everyone's looking for. And once you lose that, I mean, it's okay to admit that you've lost it. But I think lying to yourself and just trying to push through that is what a lot of people do. And it's like, at that point, like, as you were saying, you can't coach someone who doesn't want coaching, Josh. Like, you can't give someone the information to be good or like try to create this scene unless that person like really wants it. So
yeah,
that's
for
tough.
sure. It's definitely just a case of like you play the game for the game, the salary. There's like a million other things you do for the salary, you know.
Yeah, but even with the
sometimes
best
it's like you
facilities
get
or the
caught
best
up.
coach, it's like that
Yeah.
person's still not going to make it if they don't want it.
Yeah, for sure. No, I fully agree. It's a rough reality, but
But, you know,
it depends on the goals as well.
the conclusion we always come to, especially with Melee, is like, well, we're not going to quit. So,
It's legit Stockholm Syndrome, the funnest game ever made.
yeah,
It's too good, man.
literally is the best game ever
You're
made.
sitting there miserable, like spike your sticks, your hands hurt. You're like, it's 4 a.m. You're like
Yeah, SA
on
Nick's
the
like
road
just
with like
taunting
your
you in
friends.
ear. You're just there smacking your lips.
You just boomed, and
SA
you just, like,
Nick's in
the
there.
next day you wake up, you still don't really want to play. You hit the like on button, you fucking get the sticks out anyway.
Oh,
Decide to yourself. You play in there, play Falco. Yep, that's gaming.
He's sitting there grinning, eating the Indian food that he won from you from a money match. You look over at the chair that you're about to sleep on for the 4th night in a row.
Yeah.
Just like that corners
It's like
yelling.
the Mr. Krabs like whirling meme, but like for some reason you press the flush button even harder. 'cause
You
love
chug the
dude's
last discount beer you have so you can get to sleep and just pass out on the fucking chair.
Yeah, it's fucking.
It's
so
good,
sick.
man. I love it. 10 out of 10 experience. Would spend
And then
my
the rare
youth
ones,
again.
the rare ones where you win, and you just get to look at SA Nick, hating.
And you just
How,
like,
how did we just looped all the way back to Nick?
Because this is a great topic.
because that's just what it is. He's
just
the
endless
spirit of
information.
melee.
And it's just it's all going to be worth it.
That time
And
when
Spider
Fess
comes to just punch you.
he slept on the coffee table, and I took that photo of you and Fess in
We literally rise.
It was- yeah.
legitimately rising game.
literally no food, no shower,
Oh,
just
no
back on the
shower, just
sticks.
I looked so fucked. I'm just like,
Fess just flicks the setup back on after a night of sleeping on the coffee table, and he's just like, games.
Dude, it's just every day, bro.
oh man, what I wouldn't give to do that right now.
Yeah, and
Yeah, hitting land sticks. Oh my.
Oh god, she's so primo. I'm playing against D today. He's like, something's not right here.
Yeah,
He's
it's
just
definitely
like-
just a bit soulless. Just a bit. Like, even playing, like, I find I get more tilted on net play as well, even if I'm playing with the same people.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Something's different about Kalen not going, uh-oh, when he's like, we're even stocks, and he's gotten the grab. You know you're not getting hit for 60, but something's up. He's gonna fucking cheese you somehow. And then he just goes like, ha! Nothing hurts, but feels good at the same time as much as that. Oh, I'm
You
just
see my Falco now, man. It's pretty nice.
here. I can't hear no evil. I can't take it.
Josh has been playing all sorts of characters though recently.
Catch me coming
The
top 8
sheep's
with
doing
Falco
nice.
at the net play tournament, which is this Saturday, by the way.
Yeah, everyone sign up.
Let me hit the
The Sheik
plug.
has been coming in, Miles. but the
Everyone
thing is, the
remember to
Sheik
log
feels
into your
soulless.
Smurf accounts for the net play tournament.
Everyone enter as Fortnite Fred 27.
If I don't see 50 out of 50 entrants, Fortnite Fred.
Yeah, Fortnite Fred 1, 2, 3, 50.
I don't know, it's kind of fun. If everyone does Smurf, it's kind of fun working out who's who. Because, like, we do have a finite amount of players. And nobody's coming out of the woodwork and just start clapping anyway.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
can literally be like one of 3 people. You see Fox, you see a certain movement, and you're just like, it's clearly Duck.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
wow,
it's
this
dark,
is
it's
really
nasty.
good Ganon and, like, loses round 3. And I'm like, well, it's probably, like, one of the mid to high level players playing his shit secondary.
Yeah.
That's likely just MSJ.
Getting a message from that person being like, hope you win the tournament, man. I'm like, thanks. And I just like had the hard read. He's like, damn, nice. He's like, good read.
Creating
like
the
the-
secondary Discord account, like,
It's so bothered, man.
inside the blind of a Smurf. It's like, how bothered, like, how much can you
Yeah.
actually be fucked doing this?
Yeah,
I would
to
be
know
like,
you're just not going to win anyway. It's just like, haha, I've ruined O2's day.
he's like, instead of 2-2, he went 1-2.
Fucking got him, dude.
Got him.
But yeah, like I said before, my try and run like every second week, a midweek online tournament, like just mess around with formats as well, just try interesting stuff to like, I don't know, keep things interesting. So if you guys have any suggestions, anything like that, feel free to shoot anything over.
Dude,
I was
round
thinking of
robin.
running like a similar, like just like a tournament series, but like add like a bit of like flavors to it. And it would run like obviously separate week from when you guys are running your stuff, but it would be like something more to keep people entertained with the game. Like a not something like random, but trying to like I've been like brainstorming like what it could be. Maybe like an all random tournament would be good. Like it'd probably just end up in the pits by the end. But something just like that's not all right. Play this guy. It's 40 FPS. No one's liking what's going on,
Yeah.
which is actually pretty rare. Like the higher up you get, unless it's like Duck and Sock playing, and he goes for a pivot tipper in 40 FPS.
You
Because
see the
I
tipper
hit that
coming,
on
you've
my-
already full hopped. You know.
Yeah.
It's like,
No,
just,
he missed the tipper. He's like, I hit that on land. It's like, oh,
that's the other thing about net play is like the person not being right next to you. It's like, no, you don't hit that on land, and you wouldn't say that to me in person either.
yeah,
You little
exactly.
It's like, don't you dare bark online.
Yeah, it's like this is my domain, dude. Oh man, I was trying to. I don't know. I try to make it interesting. Like I think maybe if like the high level players had like a handicap or something, like it might make it interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
You
well, you
know?
already played Donkey Kong, man.
Yeah, I mean, like realistically, there's only like a
We
small amount of things you can really do.
It's hard to find ways to make melee net play. I mean, it's the ping that's hamstringing it. If there was a way to play a doubles tournament or something, that could be really fun.
Oh, that would be dope.
You probably could, to be honest.
Yeah, the ping have it to be like state lock though.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to think about it because we could definitely do something like that.
We could
Or we
have like
could just have like an online Arcadian.
yeah, the online Arcadian I think would probably be like the best idea. Cause I've played an Arcadian man for a
It's
lifetime.
like Joshi's time to go.
He sees the $50 Steam voucher. He comes out of his chair. He's like,
Oh, it's like gotta
he's
find
like,
the ticket.
all right. He's just like using grand
$50
soft. He's
Steam.
just like,
Oh yeah, show us the
Donkey
mouse
Kong.
pad. You
Me?
got
Oh,
a mouse pad.
it's 5 to 8 weeks delayed.
Oh,
Yeah.
You might as well not want it at all.
Dude, and then Seb's in my DMs like, hey man, you want to sell that voucher? I'm like,
He's like, I'll take it for 35,
Could have
man.
yeah, oh yeah, dude. If anyone tries to swindle me, it's hit him with the
Tries to
Fat
scalp the
hard pass.
voucher.
scalping the voucher.
Scalping
I'm
the
a game dude.
voucher is
Just like actually make you real money. That's so degenerate.
the ghost riding the whip of Melee.
You guys
It's like
like that?
some way, somehow, you're gonna make the bag.
Yeah, you're gonna do it in these trying times.
Bro, you can get a pizza and like a 10 stick for that. That's a Melee player's wet dream. Like, that's one night where SA Nick can't get to you, man.
It's like SA Nick Aragon. It's like, sorry, bro. Yeah, no, the tournaments have been good though. The commentary's been really funny, stuff like that. Like I think it's all been run really well. So I like.
Oh, you like the text commentary?
So fun. Man. I was like in stitches. You're just like, oh, that was pretty custom, Jordan.
That would tilt me so hard if I was getting
No,
comboed
Jordy
and
was
I
like,
see the
"Caleb,
text
stop,"
bomb.
and I'm just like, just keep playing, man. Like when you get dunked and someone's just like all caps and like, oh, get him, boy, and shit like that.
Yeah.
You just see in the top left corner of your screen.
It's just molding on the other end of the PC.
It's lagging. You're seeing it like in the in-game chat of just commentary for when you're getting fucked.
Yeah, yeah, I would definitely have to give it something more thought.
Oh, gross.
I'm trying to think like just with like I don't know, just something that can keep everyone involved. You know what I mean? Like I would have to definitely figure it out.
Yeah.
I just can't wait for all this shit to be over, man. But at the same time, like whenever I see anyone easing restrictions, I'm like,
Yeah,
don't
we
do
don't
that.
want to. We don't want to run it down mid too early.
It's too early
Yeah,
to play
like
the one
kid
down.
goes to in New South Wales, kid goes to fucking school and he already tests positive for corona. It's like been like 2 days.
I'm looking forward when they ease the like, kind of localized restrictions, like domestic ones, where you can like have 2 people at someone's house, kind of thing.
Hmm.
Just don't go out into public and do dumb shit.
Yeah, it's like when I went to the airport too. When everything, I was like, because I live with my grandparents now. I went kitted with like a mask and I was wearing gloves and like shit like that. Obviously, you look like a fucking idiot, but like I'd rather look like an idiot than get these guys sick from the airport, you know.
Yeah,
Mm.
fair
And it's
enough,
just like
man.
they're like powdering like the planes and all that. Everyone's doing really good, and then like there's just people who are just like like not coughing into their hand, like thinking they're being like funny or something. Like it's just like, dude, that real epic joke there, man.
That's
like,
the same
like,
vein
people...
of joke as being like, I sure hope they don't find this bomb I have strapped to my leg
Yeah,
while you're
exactly.
in
XD.
the security
Yeah.
line. It's like, now you're going to extra questing, man. You're going to be in there for 3 hours. Was it worth it? It's just like,
Yeah.
sure hope
He's
they
like,
don't
"You-
find
you
the
can-"
other bomb I have in extra
It's
questioning.
just like fucking hell. The guy's just really lonely and just likes the interrogator. Yeah, it's fucked. It's not like it was just so fucked. I'm like, these are the people like that are in our everyday lives who are stopping me from hitting the game I love.
Yeah.
And I will hold no bars back if I have to do anything to keep game.
Yeah.
safely.
Hold out for Mega Bam next year. Just like keep that in
Oh,
your
I
mind.
can't wait
There's
for
gonna be
Giga
Mega
Bam.
Bam.
Giga Bam's gonna be so dope.
It's been bigger and bigger Bam. Now we got Giga Bam. Now it's
Oh,
fucking-
El Gigante Bam.
There's El Gigante. I can't wait for like like Mundo Bam.
Yeah, no, it'd be good. It'd be good. Curious
Yeah.
to see where like the kind of tournament scene is at when we do come back, and like kind of what the landscape's like.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of people currently doing like VCE in Year 12 and stuff like that. So like by the time this all blows over, there's gonna be a lot like fresh wave of like 18-year-olds. We're gonna run at it.
I played the guy's name's like Stebby or something on netplay.
Oh
With,
yeah,
like 70 ping, and I'm like, okay. And this guy's like pretty clean with his Fox. Like hitting his reverse wave shines and shit. I'm like, I've never heard of this guy. I'm like, this is refreshing. His neutrals like obviously can be worked on, but that's like with everyone. And I'm like, fuck, you're really clean, man. He's like, yeah, I just don't go to tournaments anymore. I just don't like it.
Mm.
All right, man. He's really custom at the game, but just don't go to tournaments.
Yeah, I guess it's different for us. Like I've actually come across a few people like that on net. But like people play this game for like casual fun. I mean, like I do mostly as well, but like I also compete at every tournament I can, kind of thing.
Mm.
Whereas like yeah, people like they're just sitting at home playing this game with their friends. We'll just never know about them. because like
Yeah.
they know about the tournaments, they just want to play the games.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I don't know if I'm biased in
Skype's been
thinking that
around.
if they
We know
did
about
come to the
Skype.
Ranbat and come to church and experience the family experience of the, just it's Sunday, the sun's shining, you're
Yeah.
having a long neck in the car
I
park.
can see why it's not for everybody when you see a bunch of like disgruntled gamers in the car park like crushing tins at 2 p.m. in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Someone's hitting a kickflip in the corner.
You've
Someone
got
playing like
Mr. Super Cat
basketball.
Meow like smoking a doobia at the front, asking you like just hitting you up on the dumbest shit, seeing if your couch is free. It's like
You
fuck
see a
yeah,
stone
man.
cold 5-year-old holding the Switch. Like you just don't know what's going. It's like a sensory overload.
Yeah.
It's just not for everybody.
It has definitely gotten a bit more wild in the last year, I'd say.
Yeah.
The Ranbat really did get to a point where it's just anything goes now.
I think
But-
it was because of like the stagnation in like the result variations. Like,
Yeah.
alright, Josh is probably going to win this round.
The game
like-
itself has become the side event almost.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
a lot of
definitely
the time
has.
for sure. For a lot of people. But like, yeah, as I said, I feel like that's gonna be revitalized a lot when things come back because people are so starved for it. I mean, it was like about a year and a half, 2 years ago, we were running a City Melee every month. We were running the Rambat every month. There was like Holy Melee, and people just got burnt out because there was this stuff on all the time, and that did like the kind of same effect. But now I think like that everyone like has no choice to not compete. Like completely starved. It's gonna be a big flood.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. I 100% think
Man, how good
Um,
was Holy Melee was so good.
it was really good local. Like Monday night, a lot of people went. Always really good sets. I just came in fresh, like towards the end of its life.
Yeah, I came
So it's
back
just
towards
like-
the end of its life too. You and me came back nearly at the same time.
Classic. Get a jug and a pizza. Hit the sticks.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Just feel like
nothing better.
fucked for work the next day.
berate
it's just,
Geordie
like,
for not
knowing
drinking
it
in the
was worth
bracket,
it.
beat him anyway. Good times.
dude. Bam. Like, one tale I really wanted to tell. I was thinking about this in the shower today. Was the tale of Dead or Alive from South Australia.
I love Johnny so
Yeah,
much,
exactly.
man.
So this guy,
he's such a king.
such a king. So this kid, this guy, this man's.
He's a man
he-
now. He
he's a
became
man.
a man.
He did. He has just gone to the Big Cheese or the Edsta or something like that, and he's out drinking with everyone.
First time,
It's
by
like,
the way.
First time ever drinking with everyone.
Was it
And he
really
goes
like drinking
Yeah,
in
yeah.
general?
We met Johnny
No,
that
just
night.
everyone.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
this guy is just a new
Yeah.
SA player, right?
He's new, and he's just got like a chipper on his shoulder, like smiling. He's just like, I just love Melee, man, and everyone's so awesome. And you're like, this guy's fucking great. And then he goes, so for those who don't know what dice game is, so I say it better, be like Kalen, like punch yourself in the face, and then you say a number between like 1 and 6.
5.
I don't have a die, I'll roll a die.
Oh, this could be some premium content here.
I'm glad you're scraping the clicks, man. I'll chin myself for a couple.
Those
Yes.
are 1, you're fine.
Yeah.
So he's like, guys, I don't know if I should go to BAM or not. I'm
But
kind
you're
of on the
Anthony
fence
got a
about
band,
it.
and he's like, that sounds sick.
He's like, it's so good. I don't know if I should go. And we're like, you know what, brother? Dice game you right now to go to BAM. You see the poor little the dice boys, dice crew's dice hit the table. You know it's gonna hit. It lands on the number.
It just
He's like-
always hits when you know it's
He's
going
like,
to, doesn't
he's
it?
like, I'm going to BAM. I'm going to BAM.
With the smile on his face, he's just
Just-
kind of blank. He's just like,
Yeah, just like
he
and
just
he's
pulls out his phone, just like straight away, no hesitation.
Starts
Like, he was
booking
like,
flights.
man, I got like $350 off. The flight's at 320, and he's like lines up the flight, just shows you the big like,
yeah, a big smile on his face, and then he goes. I'm like, so was it worth it, man? He's like, I've had the best time. He's
Yeah,
like, this was so
fuck.
good, and it's like legit near tear in my eye. I'm just like,
That's-
yeah,
that's
legendary
awesome.
player.
the fellas. It was so beautiful, and like, that's oh man, I miss it so much. You just go up to anyone with a smile on their face, and you're like, you having a great time, and then you just hear. Which is like, you play any man? It's like, fuck no. Probably
He's like,
not.
me? Gaming? No,
Yeah.
I went O2, bro.
You look around the room, it's SD versus SA Nick just playing friendly. Smoke Up's getting wobbled by an ices in the other corner. You turn away. You
You
don't, want
don't
to see
look
it.
at
Hey,
that.
not anymore. Not anymore. We
Not anymore.
signed on to the Gim Gim rules.
Yeah, but they're fucking doing it in their play tournaments, man. Like,
Thanks,
they're still
Tim.
allowing wobbling. It's so lame in America. It's like, Army's just like, ah. It's like, it is 20 FPS and you're probably done for.
I
But,
saw
mean,
one clip where someone got wobbled by Army. It was good. It was like a game 5 situation.
It's just like, nice, this is still here.
You know they're punching their table.
Yeah, at
Yeah.
home you really don't have to control yourself when you get wobbled in a game 5.
Yeah. Boyd's soulless eyes as he took me out of winner's side at Genesis, and he's just like, great game.
He's like, you played well.
Yeah, he just like reads like the 3 options. He's like, awesome tech skill. It's
Like
thanks,
he
man.
flicks to the giant page where it's like Fox consolation like
Yeah,
quotes.
he's just like, "Fuck,
really
nearly had me game
custom
two."
up
Hope
air
your
game
4K
2.
round trip was worth it, bro.
He just like licks a lizard off the CRT and like scuttles away.
Don't do that. Oh man.
Oh no, he's
Oh.
reboomed.
Yeah, I was pretty boomed afterwards. I'm just like, someone gave me an edible after I like got tippered by meds. I just instantly swallow it as we're like bumping fists. I'm just like, it's Genesis time. Like I was so mad.
Oh no.
Dude, the American
Just
culture is so
starting
custom.
to take drugs as soon as you lose in winners. Is there
Wow.
anything more melee than that? It's like your tournament's not even over. You're like, nah, fuck it. I got
The
a shotgun.
pen's
these
already
two.
out of your pocket.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
dude,
exactly.
people would come up to me like who I've like talked to last day. It's like, Joshy, secret pen, and everyone's just huffing this shit in the venue.
Oh,
it's like
man.
legal, and it's just
It's
like you're
not
just
legal.
looking around.
That's just what Smashes have like. Is everyone just started saying it's okay to hit the pen in the venue, and then that.
Just
like,
no,
it's
I didn't say
actually
in the
illegal.
venue is legal.
In most of these states, weed isn't even legal, man. Like,
Nah, man.
do you hear the story of Skylar? He's a giant stoner from California who's part of
Yeah.
our friend group, and he had a pen on the plane, and he tries to hit his pen on the plane, and the woman's like, "Sir, you can't do that." And he's like, "It's California, weed is legal." It's like, "We're over Ohio right now, sir." He's like, "We're in the Midwest," and he's just like, "A pen." He's like nearly gets booted off
Just
the
like looking around. Just,
on the fly. Like this man's just like, "You can't stop me." He's like hitting pen in Kmart and shit. It's like it's still a store, bro. You can't just smoke weed in this store.
just a loud challenge.
This guy's like eternally boomed too. Like we really needed a lift back from the venue, like a Power 9. It was like a $150 Uber. Donnie and I look at each other, and we just see this guy. ripping
No,
cones.
dude. Not
And we're
not
just
ripping
like-
cones. They've got the dab rig out of the boot.
Yeah,
They don't rip
just
cones. They hit
melting the wax.
literally
Yeah, and he's
unloading
just
it,
like, you guys
firing the
lift,
blowtorch
and I'm
up.
like- He's like, you buy me my canes, I get you from point A to point B, and I'm just like holding onto the seat the whole time. This
Dude.
guy's just like, 1 sec. He like pulls over to rip, and I'm like, fuck me dead, man. He hits it again after we leave Raising Canes, and I'm just like, this is worth $150. And he's like, I actually drive sick. Fuck.
Yeah, I know. He always says that as well. And whenever I'm on the freeway, I'm like, "Skylar, my man, I have to get back to my home." And
It's like two things happen here. Either we die brothers,
yeah,
I
no,
go from point A to point B.
been so many times on like a random LA freeway where I'm just like, if this is how I go, because I know this man. Sometimes he'll just like, you playing sticks with him. He's like, "Oh, sorry, man, just faked out for a second there." Like, if that happens on the road, man.
Oh, California's scary, man.
There's these 4 Spanish smashers who used to drive me to tournaments a couple of times, and one time we're 6 people in like a Toyota Corolla, so it's already packed. There's 4 in the back. And the guy in the passenger like literally has the dab rig passed over to him and starts hitting dabs in the passenger. The driver's like, "Hey, let me hit a dab," and he's like, "I don't know, man. Like, you're not stopped yet." And he's like,
You
"Oh
already
yeah."
spoke before you got in the car.
He's like, "My bad. We'll wait till we get to a stop sign. Sorry, it's my bad, man."
He's like, that's it. He's just like, dude, come on, man, road rules. Oh my god, dangerous place, dude.
Yeah,
SA Nick, the
absolutely
boys
nuts.
definitely weren't about the 2 a.m. Saturday. Like that's where Genesis is Genesis, man. Like holy shit, you go
Yeah.
out into the crowd.
I love
every
that.
single shark is like money match. This
Yeah,
guy's like
yeah.
second in Milwaukee or something like that, but he's got the fucking fastest fox.
I love it. I
He's
love
just like,
that period of the
Guy's got
tournament.
like his head dented in, and he's just like, "Yeah, my name's Tiramisu," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Yeah, we'll money match," and it's like the closest set of my life, and he's just like, "So where you from, huh? Where you sharking from?" And I'm like, "I'm sharking from nowhere, man. I'm just from Australia." He's like, "Oh yeah, the voice gives it away, man. You probably need to stop that." I'm like, "I'm not sharking." I'm like, "This is disgusting." My favorite is when 2 big great whites just like clash.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just like,
great.
like they go from like doing these ones after farming like 50 kids, and it's like. Like, and you're just like leaning full forward. It's like one's playing icy, switches to his Fox Bane. Like,
Because
they're
once
both
you,
up
once
Fox
you
doing the
farm
punnies are
everybody
hitting.
else in the venue, it's like you have to start looking at some other, like, some potential actual hitters.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Like, none of the good players are around. They're all like sleeping before like the next day. Some of them are around just talking to their friends. None of them are playing. It's just like a time for
Like,
the fringies,
back
like
of
the
top
low end.
100 and
Yeah.
the people who are nearly top
Some
100.
of them are just way better than top 100 players
yeah,
too.
there's
Like,
so many people at that skill level.
insane.
Yeah,
Oh man.
there's like a time during Saturday. So Saturday's like all of the big matches, all of the fun matches that you're not going to see on the stream, and like everyone's like running from setup to setup, like looking at all these non-stream matches. And as Saturday goes on, everybody's out of the tournament, so everyone's sad. And when it hits about 4 p.m, there's just this gloom over the venue when top eight's like, it's like top 16 starting, and there's not many people left, and it's like every top player who didn't make top eight and felt like they should. There's like, or maybe top 16. There's like 30 people who felt like they should have made it, and they're just all sad. And then
like Fat Goku get up against Army after getting clutched on by Tets, and just like it's just all over the venue. You hear the boosh of his controller. You watch like Mega Christmas get fucking down smashed at the ledge. He's just like tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
Noel's losing the fish bait. Like all these people are just like
at Big House Army was just like, yeah, I'm gonna quit, like this and that.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. And
the fellas like that food, I'm just like, I'm done with this fucking.
Once you get food and you hang out with your boys at around 8 or 9, everyone's suddenly in a good mood. Suddenly the flasks are coming out, the pens are coming out. Yeah. Everyone's feeling a bit better.
I had one of these, Joshy, and I'm like, I would love to.
The commiseration starts, and everyone starts doing that whole family vibe again, and then the sharking starts as well on all the setups that are free because the tournament's over. And
look at any setup, it's beautiful.
That goes until like the venue gets kicked out.
24-hour venue, so sometimes it doesn't.
When you go into the 24-hour venue at 4 a.m. and there's a kid in full PJs playing against another kid who's like just in trackies or whatever, and it's just like, it's just Ness versus DK or something, and you're like, what are you doing, guys? There's kids sleeping in the 24-hour venue.
Like a nut or like one of those boys that just like hotel didn't, it was just too much, man. They're just like sleeping in the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Just no shower, no shame.
Man.
Oh,
people like ask me if they can have a shower at my place, and I'm just like, I don't think the people I'm with are comfortable. They don't know you. They're just like, all right, man.
Fair enough.
For sure.
Yeah, the shoes come out. Oh man, it's beautiful. Would you ever go to America, Kalen?
Have I ever been? Not for Melee, but I went when I was like a teenager.
Okay. Would you go for Melee?
If you asked me 2 years ago, I probably would have said like 100% yes, but times are changing. I mean, like, also the current state of the US is pretty fucking kooky. Like,
yeah.
I mean, like, look, I wouldn't write it off, and I probably would go if it was feasible, but balancing like work leave and all that kind of stuff for sure makes it difficult.
Conspiracy. You marry Rebecca. We have the Bucks in Vegas, but it's timed with Evo.
Catch me never supporting Mr. Wizzy. Almost we go there to like fight him. I'm down for that.
After the tournament. On Sunday night, so he can run a good event, and then you punch his head in.
Yeah, sounds good, man. No, I'm super down to like go to the US at some point, but it's kind of like what the priority is and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's like at the bottom of the list, but if everything lines up, you'd probably
like after literally last 2 years going to pretty much every single major all across Australia, except for like 1 or 2 each year, non-stop.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, the balance for sure. Nah, but I'd love to do a trip with the boys at some point, but like...
It's always really good. Housing would be really hard. There's only so many people that can put their place up. If like a 30 Aussies go, like 15.
Nah, I mean, I'd probably just get a hostel or a hotel somewhere.
Hotels, yeah. Because it'd be in a major city somewhere.
Yeah, I wouldn't go for like long term or anything like that.
Okay. 10 days or something. Do the major, do a couple of locals, see like Seattle or something. That'd be awesome. Like an
I'd probably like fly cross country and stuff like that. Go hit up New York and stuff like that as well.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. But, I mean, who knows? Who knows if we're going to be able to travel to the US at any point in time in the next year or two anyway.
Yeah, what do you guys reckon?
Likely leaving the country should be like early to mid next year. Coming back to the country is a different story.
Free visa for Don B. They can't kick me out if I'm not allowed back. All I have to do is take the Rona.
No chance of getting a job. God, that'd be so fucking randy. Just actually rolling the dice.
Fuck yeah, now. Anything for the setup.
It's like, you're 32, you're still on the sticks.
Oh man, I have absolutely no doubt in some capacity we're going to be like at least somewhat hitting like the sticks consistently.
Oh, we'll be hitting him, but like whether the sticks have been hitting me.
Oh, if you haven't realized they have been since day one, I don't know what to tell you.
It's how hard sometimes you're like, ooh, and then sometimes it's like, wow, that's probably actually a broken rib. Like, I don't know if I recovered from that one.
Yeah.
I've woken up after nights of hitting the stick sober, worse than like nights out of like 16-hour benders.
Yeah. It's fucked.
With the cold, I've been running my hands under hot water before I play.
Did you ever go to that tournament at Geordie's house in the middle of winter?
I heard there was aircon
Were
issues.
you? Well, there was no aircon. It was in the middle of winter, so like he had these like kind of double deck apartments he was taking care of, like Airbnb them, and Jordy's staying in one of the kind of like one bedroom flats. So like he opened two stories up, so like we could have a tournament there. And there's probably like I don't know 8 setups across both floors, stuff like that. But it was like the dead of winter. It's like 7 degrees. The doors are open. Like there's like one of the like bar heaters on the wall, and like kids are like literally death gripping like the burning boiling hot like heaters just to try and get some like warmth in their fingers. Cody's running training in bracket because he's playing Samus. Like nobody can play at all.
Fucking hell.
And like there's just like 10 smashers crowded around like the one sink trying to get their hands under the hot water.
It's like, I'm up next, man. You don't need this as much as I do.
Pushing each other away from the hot water. There's only so much hot, man. It's gonna go cold again.
I just can't take that.
Is using the entire facility's hot water supply just to get dunked by a Falco.
Yeah, anyway. Oh, man. Aussie tournaments are sick.
Sounds like
There's
a job
always
for the
just some
Verdugo
fun
boys,
there.
man. Apparently that venue's icy cold. There's this venue that Fiction always, like, Null and Fiction and stuff go to. Apparently it's just freezing.
Nimbus, you could see your breath on stage.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm playing math.
They got
I'm
the
like,
roller
I
doors
can't-
up?
Huh?
Did they have the roller door up?
I don't know. All I remember was it was just like ice cold. It was fucked. And it was just like, because it's a big warehouse, man. Like, roller door or not, it's going to be fucked.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, Jerry, who's one of the better TOs.
Yeah, love Jerry.
Like, one of the best. He's super homie, always super nice. Like, no discredit to the others, obviously. But he's like, yeah, I just bought a bunch of free hand warmers for everyone. He's like, you come early, you get free hand warmers. Well, fuck, man. That's perfect. Because his tournament was outside.
Yeah.
People are like, it's cold, man. It's like, here you go. He's like, but I still lost, man. It's like, crazy, man. Like, stop fucking whinging. Like, super good idea. But it's costly, though, unfortunately. It's like buying that many hand warmers for everyone.
Yeah, it's good times. American TOs are always looking for ways like that to add value because that's what the players really like. Stuff like that, people actually really. I feel like in Oz, people don't really appreciate that stuff as much because like in America, you probably paid someone like $5 gas to get you there,
Yeah.
and then you like brought a CRT so that you got that $5 back off the TO. You know.
Definitely
Yeah.
bought $120 worth of pizza for the Arcadian, and like one kid said thanks for the smashes. You best believe
Exactly.
swarmed those boxes. They were gone in like 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sad I missed the Arcadian.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was.
Wait, no, what do you mean you were there?
You were there,
We
yeah.
commentated.
Oh, we
commentated
did.
together.
We did.
We commentated finals.
That was so good, actually. Emps popping off. The Red Bulls just sending him straight through the roof.
Oh, man.
Kalen,
See, Ants
Kalen
put-
giving him another Red Bull when he's like operating at this
That was
Like,
actually
he
so
put down,
troll.
Like 3 Red Bulls into like 2 liters of Coke, and then just handing him the last Red Bull before he goes off for finals. Like, thanks, I just ran out. It was like one of the fucking most mind blowing moments. That kid was like 50 kilos soaking wet and just pure energy drink.
He's just
like he like beat someone. His body's first reaction is "Ah!" like just like visceral from his very core
Bro,
screaming.
he left humanity behind for
Fuck,
that
what a
minute.
nail biter set that was as well.
Oh.
So good.
I'm pretty sure that was after he 3-0'd someone. Like the photo where he's like rocketing out of his seat.
Godlike.
It looks like he's just on a trajectory to go through the roof as well.
Yeah. No, it's a classic.
Fuck. Osmele's had a lot of good.
Yeah, super keen to start running some more stuff back.
Yeah, I've done a complete 180 on Arcadians. I'm super about it now. I
But
think
we were literally just like half cut yelling about how soft each other's hands were while just like you're pretty much like really biased commentating for Dean to win.
that's exactly. I want that in my life every weekend.
I remember the first Arcadian, Kaylin and I commentated. I'm just like, I've got nothing to say. This is all dog shit.
You
I'm
don't
just like,
talk
these
about
guys
the
are
game, brother.
So shit.
Yeah, I'm just like, fuck. Look, watch this mispunish, and he misses it. I'm like, crazy man. Who would have guessed? And then people were just like, you're being really mean. I'm like, I am being really mean. I've had
It's like, we're just
pizza.
bad people and we just want
Yeah.
to play.
We're just like, should we even commentate anymore? We just silently sat on comms like, nice back air. Come in every now and then.
For sure.
He definitely had a
Also,
shot.
I'm kind of curious to see if like I think it's been 3 Arcadians in a row now, 4 Arcadians. I think there's only been 3 Arcadians. Every person that's won the Arcadian has like been ranked in the next season after. Like Dean
Yeah.
managed to just scrape in this season to get that. I'm like, will that kind of tradition continue?
Yeah, I mean, who would be up next? Maybe winning the
Ants.
Arcadian makes him like play more.
Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of the top players, again, as we've seen over the last couple of seasons, kind of like tape it off. Like some people disappeared, like Ducks just AWOL, all of that kind of stuff. So it kind of frees up a lot of slots, so people can kind of slide in.
It's definitely kind of free at the moment.
More so, yeah.
Who is?
But I mean,
Because
like, who knows what
Harry
we're
hasn't
gonna
been
do with
attending
PR this
really
year.
either.
No, Harry's not into the tournament this year. I don't
So
think.
what is it? It's Josh, me, Dave, or depending on how me and Dave's season plays out. I don't even know what's going to happen to the results.
Bro, there's
'cause-
been like 3
Yeah.
tournaments this year max.
yeah. So, yeah, Josh, me, Dave, Fess
Jordy.
after that. Or is Fess?
Huh?
Fess is like not playing at the moment either, right?
Yeah, I don't think Fest played after Genesis.
So would it be Geordie fourth then?
I guess so.
Jeez. Remember when Geordie was the smallest bird in the pack out of what was it? Fess, Hyrie, and Saucy were the three.
Yeah.
To be
By the
fair,
way,
I think
Phil
Jordy's
probably-
still probably the worst of the Falco Ditto, but he just does better overall.
Uh,
I don't know. I've seen Jordy get bought by a lot of people in the Falco Ditto.
I mean, no, he's bad at the Falcon. I'll give him that, but I don't think he does better overall. Like Kyrie's
No.
still gaps.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, PR's super makeable this season, so get grinding, kiddos.
Do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you have anything else you wanted to bring
I
up?
think that's pretty much it, man. Nearly 2 hours here.
Fuck.
Thanks for jumping on
Dead
board there, boys.
silent, just like, what now? Just like boot up the setup.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna hit 6.
Yeah, I'm down to hit some sticks after this and maybe even do a little net play stream as well if you're down, Joshy. And Kalen, you want to play too?
I'm gonna have dinner because I've pretty much gone straight from work to this, but I'm down to play a little while.
True.
Yeah, I'll sit out and
Alright.
you guys play. I'll just watch.
He's been
Yeah,
doing a lot of that
okay.
recently. I'm worried about him. Always wanted to
Just be
sit out.
careful with Microsoft Junior.
Oh, MS Junior? No, I've given up on MS Junior. I don't have Smash
Why?
enough.
Yeah, no,
No, I still play the bird. He's his own beast now.
He's custom. He's grown up.
I hate
It's
this.
just gone back to the days of Saucy Junior.
Oh,
I remember
You can't
Saucy's
take it.
playstyle completely different to how it actually is.
Yeah.
It's a lot more roll shine than I remember.
Oh, bro, the roll in Splitter Shine is so fucking ruthless, but he gets the wall jump dunks that nobody else did, so it's just like, "Ugh."
And the wall jump dunks, that was the thing. Oh, I still remember Saucy's first tournament, but that's a story for another. Saucy's first out-of-state tournament, it was me, Scal, Reef's car, the
screaming.
esports wagon.
Franklin goes to work to him. Oh, so
Maybe we can save that for another episode, but I missed the esports
Yeah.
wagon.
yeah, me too.
I'm just going to majors with
Don't have the
boys.
time to road trip anymore, that's for sure.
Nah. Well, now you do. You don't. You're in the content creation grind now, right?
True, actually.
All you have to do is just have your phone, film yourself doing like literally mundane shit like content.
Film
Just like
Reef
today, I'm
rolling a
taking
dart
a
with
fat
one
dump.
hand and just like,
It's like me. I'm road tripping with my friends to go to the same tournament.
Once I get NBN, I'm probably just gonna be like, all right, well, because I feel like
You don't
Yeah.
have NBN,
no, I'm getting it in 3
bro.
days.
Why did we let you into the tournament? No wonder.
Yeah.
for a second I thought he froze again.
Just like, yeah, you see,
Yeah, Yaya's in the background with the lag switch, and I'm like,
Like-
that's what's been happening. You're like, cut the stream, yeah, cut the stream.
I'm not lagging. I'm not.
You lag in the most
Oh.
clutch moments in friendlies, I swear.
Yeah, I just jiggle it a bit. Usually helps out. But I'm like, yeah, call auntie. Gets you every time.
Just start plug pulling. Getting Yayo to like stopgap while you're fucking playing Donkey Kong in finals.
You put the up air
The
input
upper-
in, she
like,
plugs it
it's like
back
a
in.
frame perfect connection. I'm like, yeah. I make the call. I'm like running with the clap slowly coming. Oh man. All right.
All right, boys.
I'm good to sign off. If you guys
Yeah.
are.
Cool.
Thanks,
Yeah, no,
everyone
it's
who
good to have
watched.
chat, boys. It's good to see your faces.
This was a
again,
lot of fun.
First time in a while.
Yeah. It was really good to see you too, man. He looks just.
See you on the sticks.
Hey, thanks, man. Love you,
It's all right,
boys.
man. Thanks
Talk
everyone
soon.
for watching. Take it easy.
Peace.
Bye.